Going through old pictures on a Tuesday. It is Collider Live. We're back.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey. What's going on, one and all? It's going to be a really fun day here today on Collider Live, because yesterday, if you joined us and you'd been all caught up with Game of Thrones, we spoiled the shit out of it for everybody because we talked about it. But we warned you. We didn't just scream it like some dildo walking out of a theater.
A good buddy of mine who has a couple kids in high school.
Yeah.
And he said that there was a bunch of dickheads in his son's high school that were walking
doing it,
around.
yeah.
Airdropping spoilers of Endgame to people's phones. Just walking through and airdropping spoilers to Endgame.
People are getting popped in the mouth for that shit.
Yeah.
We saw it yesterday. But today, we're not getting popped in the mouth because we're forewarning you that we are going to be spoiling Avengers Endgame in a full-on discussion a little later on. So we're going to give you some time, if you haven't seen it, to not to go see it.
Run out,
movie.
watch it.
Give you some time to shut off the internets. But we're probably, what time are we scheduled to do it? 11?
Yeah,
probably
11.
better to do it at 11. So you want to hang out with us for an hour and then say, fuck off, I don't want to hear spoilers, you can do it.
I'm telling you, yesterday morning I woke up. I Instagrammed out. My dad texted me like 20 seconds after the show ended. Josh, call me immediately. I need to talk Game of Thrones.
I saw your thing, yeah.
He was so excited.
Said the Game of Thrones.
The
right?
Game of Thrones,
yeah.
yes. And then signed Dad.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know what it is yesterday, by the way, because like you and I, we have, we do have that relationship of just like two brothers. Who, like, if you walk into a place, we have inside jokes cracking up, but then you can also walk in and we're ready to tear each other's heads off. right. I don't know why I missed you yesterday.
Dude, I'm telling you, I woke up and I thought to myself, I got to get to live today and talk Game of Thrones with you guys, and because I have to be in El Segundo for WGN America.
Don't leave
your
wallet there.
No.
That's that inside joke thing they were talking about.
It's a song. It's a song.
Don't leave your wallet in El Segundo.
Left my wallet in El Segundo. Left my wallet in El Segundo. Tribe, come on.
You never
Tribe
heard
Called Quest.
Oh, I know them, obviously.
Yeah. Tribe Called Quest. It's a great song.
Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
It's Left Your Wallet in El Segundo. And then have you ever heard Palmdale by the
Palmdale, come back to me.
Have you heard that song before? You know
the
band that does And Then I Got High.
Afroman.
Afroman. Yeah. He does a song called Palmdale that's amazing.
The dirty version, apparently.
Yeah,
there it is.
And so I woke up yesterday and Amanda was like, she's like, what time are you leaving? I was like, well, I think I'm leaving early. I'm going to go to Collider Live. And then I looked at how long it was going to take me at like 11:15 to get to El Segundo. And I was like, Brett Sheridan, I just couldn't do it.
Was it WGN?
WGN America shoots in El Segundo.
El Segundo.
Yeah.
Where is El Segundo? Is it by the airport?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. 405 to the 105.
Yeah,
you know when you don't care about making good air and good content, you really just need to ask the question for your
That's what you wanted to do. That's good.
Didn't care about you guys at home just then at all.
Roxy, at this point, that is kind of your bit.
Oh.
Where is El Segundo? Arizona.
Right. No, but I was right before I got in. I was telling yesterday. Not yesterday. I guess it was like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. I had these. I don't even know. I cleaned out my garage, and I had all these computers, old computers.
Sure.
And
were they like Gateways, Dells?
Dude, they've been sitting in there for years.
Okay.
So is your garage not a I park in it garage?
No,
it's
a storage space.
Okay.
And
it's barely big enough for like a Mini Cooper in that garage.
No, it's big. If you move all the crap out of the way, you can put a car in there for sure. But there were these old computers, and they were all Macs, they were old ones. But I said, I got to get these things cleaned up. So Alex took them to the store. He got them all cleaned up, and right before we went on air, he gave me the drive, and it's like a time machine.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You showed me a couple pictures of Finstock in 2008, and then a picture
with a mask.
Yeah, with the mask.
Yeah.
That was not the weirdest picture of Finstock I saw.
She saw an earlier one.
Really?
Yeah, she saw.
He looks like a different human being.
I gotta see some of these.
I can't believe he's made it this long in life.
Really?
I think the said could be same about me, you.
Facts.
See, I guess I know him so well. He's the last man standing.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
Yeah.
it's kind of both. It's both things. Like the fact that he's made it this long and nobody's like, punched him so hard that he
Went back in time.
Because he does. Because he's got a magical. He's got a magical gift. He's got a magical gift. First of all, he never leads with anger.
Survivalist.
He never leads with anger. But the survivalist for sure. But the thing is with him, it's like he can be really annoying in a way that you're like, what are you doing? You getting dressed?
It gets so hot in here. I sit down. I'm freezing when I walk out of that room. I sit down. 20 seconds later, I'm sweating through like a sheer hoodie. This thing is so lightweight. I thought it was I'll survive on live today.
But Dagnino's got this thing about him to where it's like you want to be annoyed. You do get annoyed with him, but you want to be mad with him. But he's fascinating in the fact that like
Totally.
I've never seen him. I've been friends with him almost 15. Well, shit, man, 18 years now. And
Has he met your parents?
My mom, yeah, my dad,
and
yeah.
how'd that go?
Fine. That my dad loves him.
He's good with parents.
Yeah, he is.
I speak from
He's a
experience.
conversationalist.
Yeah.
The first time that Amanda met him, we had like maybe like 6 months into dating or something. We had gone out, and I ran into him. It was like one of those. I think you tweeted at one time like fucker came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So
Yeah.
I see him, and he like corners Amanda and talks to her for about 20, 25 minutes. When we're leaving, Amanda goes, "He's an interesting one."
I know. You know what I want to do? I don't know if my wife's going to pick up, but I'm going to call my wife. And my wife's.
Well, she calls you during the show. That's
So
the
why
least she
not?
could do.
She was checking on the ice cream. It was very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to call her because I want Roxy. I want you to if we get her on the phone, I want you to ask her. Just only thing I want to talk about with her is her opinions on Tom Dagnino.
Okay.
And you can
Does she
interview
call
him.
him Tom?
I don't know what she calls him anymore, but like
That guy.
But yeah,
You should maybe have her call the.
no, I'm gonna have her call it. It's fine.
I mean, I put it up to the mic all the time.
You can hear it. It's a speaker. But I'm gonna say.
Come on, Sadie. Come on, Sadie. Come on, Sadie. No whammies. No whammies. No whammies.
Yeah, honey, you're on the air. We're having a conversation, and I was like, you know what? We got to get your take on it. So Roxy's gonna ask you something.
Hi, Sadie. So we're talking about our friend and foe, Tom Dagnino, right now. Just curious, some of your thoughts on him. If you remember any of your first interactions.
How would you describe him?
Weird.
Weird. Why?
I mean, he's just always saying something, trying to get a reaction, and I mean, I like him.
Right. But how would you describe him?
I mean,
Deep sigh.
dude.
He's a dude.
Sadie, who would you
I
trust
mean-
first with your kids, me or Tom?
Oh.
I've told her stories. I told her the story about I told her the story about the bracelet. Yeah. So what would you say, Roxy or Tom?
the
And
bracelet
then I'll let you
on
go
right
because
now.
obviously you're preoccupied.
Well, I don't know Roxy, so it's hard to say. But Tom, I mean, he's an interesting fella. I don't know that he's my first choice for childcare.
Well, I'll answer for us. The answer's Tom.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fair.
I mean, Roxy, I think she seems like a really cool girl.
Yeah.
I could hang with Viv for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, my wife was the other day. She's you guys would be able to hang for sure.
Oh.
You and Sadie.
Well, I can
But
hang with
I don't
Sadie,
leave
but
my kids with anybody.
Right.
I haven't had a babysitter since I had children, so I'm not exactly the person to talk to
Right.
about.
Where do I fall on the list, Sadie? It's Josh Macuga here. Miss you. I hope you're doing well. You're great.
Hi, Josh. I love you. Actually, you know what? I was just remembering I had a memory of you when you came over once, and Vivi was about 2.5, and you were throwing her in the air like she was a bag of
Donuts.
It was like,
Donuts.
I remember looking at you, and you're like, what? I do this all the time with my nieces and nephews. I was like, that doesn't make it okay.
It's the truth.
Really scary. I just had that memory the other day, but I think you'll be a great dad.
Oh, thank you.
Well, last
Thank
question
you.
for you before I let you go. The Thing. Will we ever watch it?
I won't be watching that ever.
See?
Damn it.
Sadie.
but you did love Life Itself.
I love This Is Us.
Oh,
This Is
yeah.
Us is my show.
Yes.
And I love anything that makes me cry. So, yes, love is a strong word for me with that movie, but I did like it a lot.
Well, if you want to cry, you
Take
should watch
it.
the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
We
Oh,
may
yeah.
need to get like a Sadie predictor of This Is Us next season of like, where is Kate? What happened to Kevin? Who is Kevin married to? Who's the mom of his son? Why did Nick come back?
Because
like,
don't you just want Kevin to end up with his ex-wife?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
do. Yes.
Yes, Sophie. Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because he finally realized he wanted children, which
Yeah.
was wonderful.
Okay. Well, I don't know what they're talking about. I mean,
It was fun
We were
until
talking
Christian was
Japanese.
not having fun.
No,
I didn't know what they're
Christian
talking
just did that segue the
Yeah,
other
this
way.
fella
Christian
was
started
all
making
right,
short
that's it,
people too.
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking about that song earlier today. All right, listen, honey, thank you so much, and we will continue talking about Tom and how weird he is. All
Sorry
right,
for throwing your
I
kid.
wasn't prepared. I'm like half asleep with the vacuum. I'm trying to vacuum.
oh, okay. How's the how's Maisie?
She's good. She's
Good.
screaming at me a lot.
Okay, sounds like me. Okay, all right. I'll see you. See you in a little
Bye,
bit.
Sadie.
Bye, Sadie. So this is what I'm saying to you guys. I could chill with Viv all day. It's Maisie that I can't hang with.
Right.
So like once you can put your own clothes on and you can talk and you can move,
You can have conversations,
I'm really
right.
cool.
So you could be like an adoptive mom that takes like a 10-year-old.
100%.
Yes and no.
100%.
Yes and no.
100% at some point in my life, not today.
Here's the problem with that. My daughter would work you like there's no tomorrow. She'd come back. I would come back, and it would be like she'd be Tony Montana at Scarface. She was so jacked up on sugar and candy because she would say, just my mom and dad let me have like nine treats.
I'm not like that.
You would be able to push over.
Oh, because I'm like, yo, bitch, I know what's happening.
Make sure you start the sentence with
Started
that.
with that.
Yeah, I know.
Started with
But
that.
with babies,
Right.
like under the age of 3, I'm so scared.
Right.
Like, how are you
Smart.
functioning?
Yeah.
How do you not like
Break.
or just you guys topple over? And when I was watching the kid, he hit his head for a second.
That's good.
And then was hysterically crying, and then was like, ha, and then kept moving. It's like, what just happened?
They're invincible. They're
It's
invincible.
too much.
For the most
They
part.
think they
too
are.
much.
Yeah,
It's just too much.
my daughter, by the way, now
Which one?
the 1.5-year-old is doing yoga poses.
I
I
you
showed
sent
it
me
to
the
you.
video. It's hysterical. Do your yoga pose, and she lifted her leg in the air, like
Like
I don't
legit.
know what that pose is. I've done yoga maybe 5 times, so I can't name it. But it's just, and she held it, and you just start giggling in the background. And so I showed it to Amanda, and Amanda goes, "She does that better than I do."
I know she
That's
she
amazing.
legit.
Are you teaching her that?
Sadie does it with her. Like they do yoga in the living room, and my
So
1.5-year-old comes over, does the pose, puts her leg up, and does like
Does
legit.
the
I'll
perfect
show
downward
you.
dog, and then does I don't know what they call
Whatever that
move,
Yeah,
thing.
reverse
I
snake.
know.
I'll show it to you during the break. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
like and then the other day because me once something happens I gotta milk it till it's dead.
Totally.
So we're in the middle.
No.
We're in the middle. We're in the kitchen eating, and I say, Maisie, do the yoga pose. And my wife's like, she can't do it now. She doesn't have the mat. Don't make her get the mat. And then Maisie, she goes, yeah. And she runs it now. She's like, now she wants the mat. So I had to take the mat out, put the whole thing down. But it was worth it because she did it again. It was fun.
Smart kid.
Yeah,
I
she's
got
fun.
Damn.
next week, and I know a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter have been awesome about it. So my brother's having his surgery a week from Friday,
Yeah.
May 10th. So we're going up to San Francisco, and so Amanda and I are basically like watching the kids for 4 days. So my brother's probably gonna be laid up for about 10 days, depending on how surgery goes and stuff. So we're gonna go there for a few days and watch the kids. And Amanda's like, we got to plan activities because Luke is very active, and Olivia is like a total diva, and then there's a 2.5-year-old, 3-year-old that is a terror. She's Sonic the Hedgehog, but way more entertaining.
Right.
And she called me. She can like talk on the phone, so she FaceTimes, and she goes, "Uncle Josh, bring weapons." I'm like, "What?
Bring weapons?
What? In what world?" And Ashley goes, "She's obsessed with swords right now." And then we showed her some video of you with a sword, and so now she thinks you're going to bring weapons. And I was like,
Bring the Braveheart
great.
sword.
Just bring the Braveheart sword. Yeah. So I'm a little nervous.
You know my bit thing that I do? Okay. Who's Ashley?
My sister-in-law.
Oh, I was like, because you just called your wife some girl named Ashley, and
No,
I don't
no.
know what just
yeah.
happened.
Ashley's my
swingers.
sister-in-law. USC grad. She went to USC. Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on.
Yeah. I
a
think
big
she was
Ashley
like your
fan.
rival sorority, maybe.
Yeah,
Ooh, what was she?
what sorority?
Kappa? Yeah.
Kappa.
You know what you did
Oh,
mention?
rich daddies.
She didn't have a dad.
Doesn't make it nearly as fun.
Well, she had to.
I
have
can
it.
play that game too,
Well, yeah,
okay?
She
That's
was
how-
probably psyched to bring that
was
up
she,
on the air.
was she created by the Force?
Yeah, correct. She was. Her parents were junk traders
Right.
and left her on a planet where she
Palpatine
was.
created
Retcon.
Retcon.
You mentioned San Francisco.
Yes.
So this is something I'm going to need your help with, and I'll do it on the air. I don't give a shit. I want to do a live event for the Schmoedown in September.
Yes.
And I want one of the matches to be Kind of Funny versus the Wildberries.
Done and done.
Yes.
Yes.
And I want to, and we're looking
So
at
fun.
We're looking at a theater in San Francisco right
Yes.
now.
Yep.
Possibly Oakland.
I haven't been to San Francisco in years, and I love it. It's one of my favorite towns.
Possibly Oakland, but
Okay.
it just
Oakland's still great,
It's
too.
because
Yeah.
the theaters are a little bless you.
Bless you.
Theaters
Thank
are a
you
little cheaper.
guys so
Now
much.
the other thing is we're also targeting. We're also looking to do Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
in October.
Okay.
So right now it's August. New York, in Manhattan.
Okay.
Is what we're looking to do.
Really?
At the same theater that.
No,
was that not in
That was in
Manhattan?
Brooklyn. That was in Brooklyn. The Roulette. That one sat 375 seats, and we sold out in 2 days. So we figured let's go for a 600-seat theater this time in Manhattan.
Can I come?
To see. It depends on who's playing, but if you want, well, regardless, even if you can always go, whether or not I'm going to pay for it, we'll figure
That
out.
is the most you've ever
Giving
indulged
you?
my question.
We're getting more involved now.
Well, instead of no.
Let's
Right.
weigh
Well,
well,
weigh the
let's
options.
Let's look into it.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We'll see
if we
what's
can.
going on. Yeah, well, you're getting
Sounds
more
like a good
involved.
conversation.
Oh my god.
Well, how
I know.
about I get all these, speaking of Roxy at a live event, I get all of these tweets of like, your suspension is not warranted when Roxy's assault of a man. I was like, all right, first of all, it's not an assault.
No.
Okay?
Well,
I've seen an assault.
Second of all, you
I
threw
get, like,
you threw
close-
the championship of the. And
then I flossed.
first, you're like, I didn't suspend you
Great
there.
meme.
The thing is, well, that's a ridiculous thing. The man threw a $600 belt across.
You know what
off of a
happened?
desk onto the floor.
When I
And
threw it,
that's
I was
a
like,
suspension,
oh,
motherfucker.
crap, I hope it doesn't break. I hope it
Yeah.
doesn't break. I hope it doesn't break. As soon as I bumped it. But then I picked it up and flossed with it, and I thought that
Yeah.
was the funny
I'll tell you
part.
what, the new ones,
Yeah.
you floss with the new ones, I'll break your kneecaps.
Yeah,
right in front of you.
that's fine. And listen, I've learned my lesson. I get it.
I think this is.
I blame James Horner. I blame James
Yeah.
Horner.
It's kind of similar. Like you knew the consequences. It's not like you didn't think that. You knew. I think you knew.
I just chugged a
think
bottle
you
of white
just-
wine through
yeah.
a straw.
Wildberries
Shout out
are
to
one of my
Simply Straws.
favorite teams. Always
Oh, of
have
course.
been.
They're like the Bushwhackers.
You
Keep the
can't.
same.
You can't dislike.
Can you guys actually go to the Facebook group? Because that's why I wanted to show Macuga yesterday. They made a video of it. Someone made a video of it, and it's really, where the hell is it? It's let's see if we can find it.
Is it that William Wallace bloody one?
No, you'll be able to see it. It's shit. Maybe it's in the. Keep going.
Look
No,
at,
maybe
look
it's
at look at clean shaven Ken in the middle there. It's always confusing.
I thought you were talking about David Harbour.
Where did this? You know what? Keep going. Keep going up. Yeah, it might be in there. Just go to the videos over there too. We'll see if we can find it. But it was they put the music to something when you actually did.
Isn't that it?
I
That's
don't
it,
ever want
that's
to
it.
hear
Is that
I
the
make
top
bad
left? Yeah,
air
top
ever
left.
again.
Top left. Is that it?
Okay.
Is that the video? Yeah. So turn this up.
Points, and it's like the
I just can't take it anymore. I can't do it. I'm done. The wild man. I was walking down the street, and a man walks up to me.
No, he's drinking. He takes a drink.
Run faster, jump higher.
But it's. But watch this. Watch Dewberry. Watch Dewberry. Yeah, Dewberry's great here.
I love founding fathers. Founding fathers trying to stay focused.
Fast forward to the actual belt toss.
I think I humped Dan Merle.
Yeah, there's a, well,
Sure,
there's a-
Dan loved that.
Oh, he loved it. Yeah.
It's right after he misses this one. Yeah, right here. That's it. That's it. It's really good. Anyway, this video is actually in the Schmoedown group, so if you guys want to check it out, it's really funny. They put it to the Lonely Island song.
Island,
Yeah, it's really good. Look at him putting it on your ball bag. People are actually thought that's the reason why we got the new belts.
Yeah.
It's not. It would have been a good reason why.
I thought my rebuttal
Dan
was
trying to hold it together right now, like feeling so disrespected.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was furious. Yeah, he was furious.
Even Tom was like, "Yeah, I might have gone a little far."
Yeah. you know what
That-
Tom says you
that's-
answer for?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But that was a
Tom.
fun moment. Yeah.
Tom.
Even Elliot was like, "I think you had like one too many shots at that point." I was like, "Yeah, I think so too." I mean,
Do you think you play worse when you're drunk or not?
No, it's the same amount of intelligence. I think.
Zero.
I mean, my whole plan is guessing and hoping.
Right.
I don't have a skill set other than the retention of knowledge that I've built up over the years.
You know what the problem is, though?
Yeah.
Is that you could survive on that in season 3.
Yeah.
Now there's
No.
these people that come in here, but
I went all the way to the finals the first season
Yeah.
because I was able to guess my way to victory.
right, well now again the match is on Patreon with him and Paul Oyama. You can go and you can check
Oyama
that
will
out.
be there.
You can check that out. Yeah. You can check it out on Patreon. Now
You've
all
been
for
working
all
on that?
patrons.
No, I said it in the match.
Get into the match.
That kid-
But you know what
that kid
happened
can take
inside
a
of that
short
match?
walk off a long
And
plank.
this is the match that airs on Thursday, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But there's one thing that I noticed last night because for the patrons who saw it, they're like, "Why did they change Paul Oyama's nickname? He's got a good nickname. It's Primetime Paul Oyama." And they're going through it, and they're like, "Why are they calling him the Shark?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is calling him the Shark? It's a horrendous nickname.
Yeah.
The Shark."
Who's calling him the Shark?
I didn't know where it was coming from. I'm like, no one changed his nickname for some reason. Ellis and Marquia just started calling him the Shark in the middle of the match. They announce him They announced a primetime Paul Oyama comes
and then
out.
They just switched.
And then for some reason, they just started calling him the
Did
shark.
you ask Alice about it?
I asked him last night. He's like, I don't know. For some reason, I thought in a pre-interview someone called him a shark, so I just went with it.
And he likes his
he's-
sharks,
and
so
then-
is he going to bring that in?
And they went, but it's funny because Marquia did the announcement. She starts off with primetime Paul Oyama, and then later on, they kept talking
I'm
about
sure
the
she
shark.
hears Ellis call him
Of
the
course,
shark, and she's
of
like,
course.
yeah, it's the shark.
And
His new entry should be Baby Shark.
So anybody who's a fan of Paul Oyama, don't worry, the shark is not going to be a nickname, not for him anyway.
It doesn't even rhyme.
It has nothing to do with anything. The shark. I mean, someone's like, because Kaiser came up to me too. He's like, yeah, why are you calling the kid the shark now? I go, no one is calling him the shark.
Like it has to be an S with your first or last
Or
name,
something
or
like-
like you're Jason Statham and you just came off the Meg,
Right.
Or
Or
it's
it's gotta-
Jason the Shark Statham.
Or it's got to fit. Like if Bibiani was brand new. That's great. Now, if Bibiani was brand new, and the first thing he ever did was the free for all. He was standing,
Yes.
right? And his nickname became William Still Standing Bibiani.
Right.
You could understand why.
Sure.
But the
That's
shark.
a dope. That's a dope nickname.
Still Standing?
Still standing is so good.
His shirt is amazing.
I'm
He
still
has the best shirt I think we've
I wanna
ever done.
see it.
Can you bring up the Schmoes store and you just look at the?
Well, I need to reach out to Brian Ward for a couple new Wild Berries logos.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can do it.
I'm just sitting on that. I'm just waiting for that
Yeah.
Wild
Well,
Berries
you
money to cash.
Something to throw the. That's where's the actual?
You were at like
There's
$39.
still
See,
sitting.
that's the thing is that's not us. That's not. Put in.
What do you
that
mean
Josh
that's not
Macuga
you?
right there?
That's not our.
T
yeah,
Public's
it's
not
CH.
you?
There's some people who put up designs that's not
not
our
legal.
actual
That
store.
sucks.
They're not
Yeah.
canon.
Yeah. Well, Janine does some stuff too from hers, and she's. Let's see. Where is she? Oh, there you go. So, yeah, that. Click on that one.
Which one?
That one. This the outlaw one. So yeah, just click on that one. So we should. Where's the actual design for Bibiani? It's like one of the. Yeah, there it is. It's the first one. That's still standing one. It's
That's
like, it's
pretty
kind of.
good.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love Still
Plain
Standing.
font.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So you can go and check that out over there. And he's got a big match on Friday. He's going for the title against Merle. Mm-hmm. It's going to be big.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Wild Berries one sanctioned?
Yes.
It is.
'Cause
Yeah,
that's
those,
unreal.
Those are all. This is the actual story.
That's the best.
Yeah, these are the actual story.
That is
so still
that
standing.
is
There's
something
another-
I didn't know I needed in my life.
I saw somebody at the free for
I
all
need to
had
get
that
some-
shirt. This
I-
shirt is
yeah.
amazing. And
This shirt is amazing.
how that shirt has not sold more, I have no idea. It's only
Look
sold
at
like
that.
seven.
I need to like get that shirt.
That is
and wear it.
that needs to
You
be
gotta promote that shirt.
free.
I know.
So for anybody on iTunes, it's Josh is the genie and Dewberry is a pink genie.
They're both genies.
And it
Both
says-
genies.
It's
Yeah,
a-
but you're the genie.
Yeah, it's an amazing shirt. And I actually saw, and it's really layered.
Yeah.
I saw at the free for all there was a guy who showed up, and I was like, I'm so glad you have that shirt because everyone
great.
should have one of those
Yes.
shirts.
If you came out of a
I would
lamp,
wear
I'd
that.
ask you to go back in. I don't need any
Don't
wishes.
talk over
Do they
each
make
other.
crop tops? I want a Wild Berries
You can
crop
make
top.
one.
Oh yeah, you can get a crop
You
top.
make one. But so the Magic Season one, by the way, this is kind of a funny story. I got like 7 or 8 of them shirts. 'Cause
Guy.
I wanted to kind of pass them around. Sure. And Sturger had asked me to get her one so she could wear it for the post interviews. So I got the other day. I bring all of them, and she's like, "Did you get my shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do have it." I'm looking around and it's not there. All the other shirts are there. I'm like, where the hell is it? So she's like, it's fine. Just give me one of the smaller ones for guys. I'll cut it and make it my own. I was like, cool. So I gave her one of those. So I get home, and my wife's like, "Oh yeah, I gave it to Vivi." I'm like, "What? What?" She's like, "Well, I was sitting around." She's like, "It's too small for anybody." So I said, "No, I got that for one of the interviewers."
Yeah.
She's like, "Someone could fit into that." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, it was meant for Jen Sturger. She's like, "Oh," and then I saw Vivi wearing it last night. I was like, "It's fine."
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
I want one.
You want one also? A Magic Season one?
I just want a shirt.
All right, fine. You can do it. Say, look, 2 things in a row today.
Can
It's a new day.
Can I ask for more things?
No,
Oh.
That's a no.
it's over.
I do need a new Wild Berry shirt because I've thrown 2 of them
Get
into
that
a
one.
crowd. Yeah, I'm
The
gonna get
genie.
it. Yeah.
You got to
for
do
sure.
it. All right. Anyway, so go and
I want a
visit-
shirt. I
Go,
know you say that it doesn't work like that.
I just want to put like a slap because I went over so well. The slap, people love it.
That'd be
People
dope.
love the slap.
Just instead of still standing, just
Slap.
slap.
The slap heard around the world.
I'll slap your ass.
Oh, yo.
Just get like a Roxy design
Yeah.
with the slap
Yeah,
over
it
top.
was so
first.
silly. It was so silly. I'll break kayfabe a little bit. So I saw some of the stuff in Collider Live posting. It's just like, why? Yeah, why exactly? Why they thought it shouldn't cross over? My head just exploded. It's like, I mean, do you do that? do you do that when it's a television show? And then you hear like, well, but it's not crossing over into real life. And I was just like, come on. We can be better than that.
We're better as people.
Better. It's like there's some people that I saw that I've had conversations with, and that were other people that want to or are part of the league. If you don't get it, that's a problem.
Yeah,
it's a problem if you don't get it.
I saw a lot of people message me. I'm sorry, this is being done to you.
It's like Roxy. You know what? You have to, and if you don't like it, tough. You can't. You're not allowed to tell me no. You're not allowed.
I don't think anything's ever been done to me.
No.
What things are done to Roxy?
And I'll break. You know what? And I'll even break the story and tell the story. I don't give a shit. I was driving, and I was like, well, there's always an end bit. For the live shows, because that's why people come to the shows also. They want to see the great matches, but then there's something that happens, and something big, and it makes it a show. The Horseman reveal, Ben coming out, Kalinowski, and so, well, what can we do? So, and I remember that at one point, Roxy and Ben had said to me, we want to play off of our relationship somehow, do something with.
I want to do something
like that, and I was like, we can. Eventually, we can get there. I want it to feel right. So as I'm driving, in my head pops up, Roxy should slap him. Oh, wait. that thought came into my head. Why did that come into my head? I'm like, how do we do it? How would we make it work? So win or lose, you can do it. I was like, but obviously you can't do it unless they're on board. So I called Ben. I was like, I have this idea. He's like, I love it. He's like, you got to tell Roxy. He's like, Roxy, you're gonna slap Ben. She's like, all right. and then, but to Ben's credit, though, Ben was the one who said, we were standing right there, and the thing as we were practicing it beforehand, and Ben goes, she's got to really crack me, otherwise it doesn't work. That's why the people are going, it looked fake. What are you talking about? She cracked him.
She's got little hands. He's got a big face. So it's fine.
but she, and they both, and we went over it, rehearsed it, and they were like, and it was the matter of those two going, yeah, let's really play into it. We got to do it and have some fun with it. So, and again, I don't care about breaking the character right now, because that's the whole point of Collider Live. It's like you can get part of the kayfabe on it, and you can also get behind the scenes. But
it was
some of those comments in the Facebook group, I was like, oh my God, what are you talking about?
About how I was in an abusive relationship as the abuser for all of these years, and now it's out in public. I'm like,
there was this one,
how did you know?
Well, those reactors, and the reactors I told you I love is the reactors.
When people get it, they get it.
Yeah, but
That's so true.
But there was the one group I told you who I watch all their stuff.
Yeah,
and
you were so disappointed.
I was just disappointed because he played into it. He's like, the Schmoedown broke up their relationship and now they're playing it. No, the Schmoedown had nothing to do with the fucking breakup. Come on, guy, get it together.
It's the most fun storyline. People who are hating the storyline, it's so fun.
Oh,
it's so silly.
You better strap in.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And gosh, if he didn't deserve that slap for that reason, he definitely deserved it for a ton of other reasons. So,
right. So basically, what we're saying is that you don't have and no, it's the same thing when you watch a show. You don't have to watch every angle. Like I said, I can't stand the freaking uncle on Game of Thrones. They're not going to get rid of him because of me.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Well, not just because of me. Well, that'd be nice.
Which uncle?
The thing.
Oh, your uncle.
You can't stand him.
Yeah,
he's so over the top.
Cersei's boyfriend.
Yeah,
He's ridiculous.
He totally is.
There's nothing real about that character at all. He's just a complete cartoon.
Does he have gold teeth, or am I just picturing him with gold teeth?
I think you're just picturing him.
Hopefully he gets killed with gold
Because
teeth.
doesn't he talk like a pirate?
Yeah.
He's just so over the top.
He's the like in a show full of very realistic tortured characters.
He's a cartoon.
He's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's like there's never anything about him that you're just like, oh yeah, he's always maniacally laughing.
Are some of the teeth gold?
I don't know.
I think he just got dead teeth.
They tried. So he was so hard. They were trying so hard to make him like the next Joffrey or Ramsay, and it's just not working because he's just a cartoon.
No,
he's like a strangely cloned Ewan McGregor that just didn't take off.
Joffrey worked because he was a kid, and it was like this
you
is
saw
so
the innocence
scary.
though, too.
You see,
Yeah.
and he does. This is how he's been raised. This is what he's doing.
Yeah.
And Ramsay worked because of pure acting chops.
Yeah.
Like that was just unbelievable.
Right.
You believed he was really like that. And I'm not saying that he's not good. I just think it's the combination of the direction, the performance.
It's not. Yeah,
it's not as strong.
Yeah, but it's not his acting.
No, it's not.
It
It's
has nothing
definitely
against the
not.
actor. It's the way. It's the character in general. He's been told to play it that way, and what the direction he's been told, he's nailing it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the direction of it, and that's one criticism over a show that I think is in my top 3 or 4 shows of all time. I mean, I love the show this season. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I
just
know
can't
you
stand
guys talked about it yesterday.
Don't spoil it though for people.
I won't.
Okay.
So when
We spoiled it yesterday.
Yesterday, though.
Yesterday. All right.
So I was watching with a couple buddies and their wives. So there was like 6 of us watching, and we obviously had to turn up the brightness on the TV. Like we paused it after 10 minutes and just like jacked the brightness all the way up on the TV because it was kind of hard to see. But that being, I mean, like that happens on dark shows. It has to be dark. It's a darkness. The winter's here. Whatever. I get it. I'm not taking anything away artistically. But there were points where like things would happen. We'd pause it, and I'll be like, yeah, like high-fiving everything. Like it was one of the coolest episodes of TV you'll ever watch,
You
and it wasn't even a finale. Oh yeah, paused.
I have an issue not thinking I'm first.
Oh.
So if other people have seen something I haven't seen, I can't pause.
So you got to do it. You got to be there.
I have to be in real time for Game of Thrones
That's-
because if somebody else has seen a moment I haven't seen yet, which obviously there are people who have,
Yeah.
but I mean in that real time, I can't pause. So something will happen, I'll miss it. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do?
Will you
Like,
rewind?
No, I don't.
She won't do it. She
okay.
won't rewind.
I'll go back after the whole thing's done and
Gotcha.
then go find
Well,
it.
I'm
I
never
can't-
watching anything.
That's an
you do.
interesting
I've never-
way to do it.
I've never understood people like I get it
In general, people?
Yeah, totally. You know,
I'm with you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And
Me too, actually.
I think we're all on the same page.
Dogs, on the other hand.
Ooh, I love them.
Yeah.
I get them. They
Big dog
speak to
fan.
me
Yeah.
in a way that
very
nothing else
true.
does.
No, I don't get that either.
So
Cheese.
the people that can record sports and then wait like 4 or 5 hours and then watch the game, I understand that you're able to do that. Me personally, I can't. I
do
need
it.
to know. Yeah,
My
I know.
dad too. I don't.
If I
I've
have to
never
do it, I've
understood.
done it for a USC game.
When you have children, you have
watch
to
the
do
score.
it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
But you know, but it's just about what happens.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that need to watch all the seconds of the game. I just need to know score.
Yeah.
Like I just want to know that my Steelers are winning, my Penguins
Well,
are
I had
winning,
to do
whatever.
it. I had to do it the other last week because again, wife's not a big sports fan,
Yeah.
right? So doesn't
mine.
understand that a baseball game takes between 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, how long is this game? Like, you've been with me for 12 fucking years. You know that the games are 4 hours long. Every time, how long is the game? So we're watching, and
Could change.
And my
Could be a little bit quicker.
My daughter now, Vivian, is loves anytime we put the baseball. Sits down and wants to watch it with me too. So we're going.
That's
through
gotta
it.
be really cool for
It was
you.
cool. We're watching. She's picking it up. Sometimes she's still she's like, yeah, no, that's the other team. But she tries. And then it goes on for a little bit. But I had that 2 weeks ago or whatever it was last week. I had to fast forward a little bit to kind of know what was going on and pause it and catch up and all this shit. But it's easier for me.
Sure.
Especially like football games too. When I have to get back like Giants games. On the
get
Giants games, I want to fast forward to the end just to see them lose.
Fast forwarding through sports is very like it cleans the soul kind of a thing. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get through. Okay, there's the first time.
Right.
Like it feels kind of good to fast
Yeah.
forward through some parts of sports for sure. But
It's
that
essentially like what Red Zone is and
Yeah.
what it plays on.
Yeah.
something you don't want to fast forward through. I know I bring it up all the time, but guys, last night the champ got put against the wall.
I heard this is
yeah.
so Jeopardy. He won by like $100.
$19.
Oh, $19.
But he
Whoa.
still won.
Yeah,
But he still won.
He still won. It was crazy. So,
Holy
so the
shit.
champ was against the ropes. He was
Yeah.
back,
It
and
was like the second place. It was like the highest second place finish of all time.
yeah,
right?
yeah. So I think it was like 55.
Do you get to keep the money if you're in second place?
No, you only get $2,000.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
That sucks.
there was a guy on the deck, and there was a girl in the middle too that was like battling with him and was taking points away from both. So it was like a very even game. And James Holzhauer, like he does hit a huge daily double, and then the competitor got a daily double and risked 12,000. They're going neck and neck. They get to Final Jeopardy. Unfortunately, the girl got the Final Jeopardy wrong. That guy got the Final Jeopardy right and bet everything. And then Holzhauer bet enough to beat him by $19. The whole place was just
Nuts,
and
right?
Alex
Yeah.
Trebek was just like, oh my! I mean, he was even crazy excited. You saw the relief on Holzhauer's face. He like collapsed. It was the game of this run so
So
far.
does this mean
100%.
that he's gonna?
The Russian is cut? But who knows? I mean, he could
but
go.
that could have been that one
shoot
guy.
Just that one
That
guy.
could have been that one guy.
And here's the thing: what's running this whole thing is how he attacks the board and everything. But if he doesn't get the daily double, so what's crazy is he got the daily double in the first round on the first question, missed it, went negative 1,000.
But here's another thing though
Yeah.
too, and if you compare it to like boxing, right?
Yeah.
When Tyson came out, and no one knew how to deal with him because he was moving at this speed, and how do you combat this? I have no idea how to do this. But people started watching his tapes,
Right.
and plus the fact he was drinking the night before. But that's hopefully this guy doesn't do that. But then you find out a way. You learn his strategy. You learn what he's doing, and you try to do that. When he first comes out, you don't know how to beat this guy.
Yeah.
But now, if you start watching all of his games and figuring it out,
Jeopardy obviously pre-taped. They shoot
Yeah.
like 2 or 3
So
episodes.
we don't- right.
But a lot of those contestants and those pre-tapes are sitting in the shows that he's winning before them.
Right.
So they know what they're going up against. So they're just like, okay, well, here's what I got to do. In order to beat this guy, I got to risk everything on Double Jeopardy. I got to do... Because two games ago, there was a girl playing, and she was kind of keeping up with Holzhauer for the first couple things, and she got to Double Jeopardy, and she was like, 400. And Alex was like, what are you doing? It's a waste of a Double Jeopardy or a daily double. You got to bet it. Yeah. So
how much did she have?
I mean, she was only
He's
a couple
allowed to do
thousand
that?
away.
He can give her advice?
No. But he's
just
saying to himself, he's just he just was like, okay.
Kristian, they're connected mentally.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand.
He understands.
Yeah. But the strategy that he's pulling off, and again, Thad texted me immediately after Jeopardy, and as I was yelling,
covered
So
it
you're
on-
watching live.
Oh yeah,
They covered it on SportsCenter.
I know.
Not SportsCenter. Was it maybe it was
Dan Patrick
ESPN.com, whatever it's
ESPN,
been.
yeah.
And that's again why I tell people all the damn time. It's like you don't have to catch a ball or run to first base, to be considered an athlete or a sport.
Totally.
It's like when there's like this what this guy's doing. He's a mental athlete.
A mental athlete,
and that is why I keep banging the drum as far as what the Schmoedown does.
Sure,
and why you
totally.
get and I think
Have you ever watched like the spelling bee?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
that shit is nuts.
It's mental athletics.
Nuts.
And
It is
here's the thing
mental
too:
athletics.
is I've been to a couple Jeopardy tapings. It's overwhelming. And that's what happens when people that get under the lights in the Schmoedown, especially at a live show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of things, a lot of different elements are coming at you. You get on stage at Jeopardy, and you got to train because you got to get the timing right, and you got to think, and you got to see it and read it. While all that audience, like, there's a lot of
People
moving
don't
parts.
realize that stuff, man.
Hey, are you doing a manager bowl?
Yeah.
Can I announce it?
We're gonna have a serious talk.
Is that a yes?
Oh, shit.
Figured while I was asking for things on there.
I'm considering putting television categories on the wheel so you can play.
Television categories.
Yeah, wheel
Then I
slices.
should announce it
The
and
whole-
write the
the whole
television
wheel.
category.
Wheel slices.
The whole wheel.
Wheel slices.
No, like a slice.
No.
I mean, there should be a TV Schmoedown that Roxy and I host.
Well, that's
or something like
that's
that.
something
Yeah.
down the line, but I have to get you in there. You have to be in the manager.
I will
bowl.
announce.
You're too big of a
I'll
manager right now.
announce.
We'll
I'll
talk about
announce.
it. We'll talk about it.
You know what, Kristian?
Yes.
For that I will agree with you.
Yes.
I am too big of a manager right now.
Oh.
This is my year.
Beneath you?
No, this is just my year. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Fife was standing in my manager of the year way for quite some time now.
Oh, so you're getting in that way. Well, you got to. First thing you got to do is you got to make sure.
I'm into that.
Well-
Fife's a good manager as well, but you know.
Well, first thing you got to do is Snyder versus Reilly, and you lose that, you don't go to the title match. So
But yeah, I've got faith in my boy.
all right, well,
I've said it all
We'll
along.
see. Hey, listen, I want to tell everybody something special here. Something really cool going on. This is an
Getting ready
announcement
for his
that.
match. I'm manager Riley now.
But I want to make an announcement.
Ooh, I like that.
I want to make an announcement to everybody.
No.
So in 2014, I believe it was, or even 2013, Ellis and I were invited by John Campia and over to AMC Movie Talk, and we became regulars over there, and that turned us into regulars over at AMC Movie Talk. Obviously, when it just kind of blew up and went and moved over to Burbank and eventually became Collider, and then Ellis took over on Movie Talk. So Movie Talk was always the one that was. It's always been the flagship show, and it has always been, the one that has gotten a lot of the relationships started. And Perry Nemiroff is right now has kind of been taking the lead on that show for a lot of things. And there's a big announcement to be made that there's a brand new Movie Talk format. Brand new. And it's going to launch on Monday, May 6th. Monday, May 6th is when it launches. Yeah, and so this is some of the stuff too that you should know about the show. And Perry's going to come in tomorrow and talk a little bit more about it, so you know exactly what it is.
Is Perry going to be heading the whole show?
I'm allowed to talk about this. Okay. Here's what you can know, what I can tell you.
Okay.
Perry is officially the brand new host.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Perry.
Perry.
Movie Talk.
Perry.
Yeah. The show will now be, and listen before you go bananas. Listen, the show is 20 minutes long. It's going to be 20 minutes long, but
awesome.
But it'll be moving to 5 days a week because right now it's at 4. So it'll be 20 minutes long, 5 days a week. And so and we're very aware that your time is spent watching a lot of content. So this is going to let them focus on 2 big stories of the day, and then they're going to really dig into them rather than fill it with a lineup with just less pressing news. Because we cover
That's
a lot
cool.
of stuff on this show, and they want to really dig into it. The 20-minute format's also going to free up a lot of resources so that we don't have to wait until showtime. They can cover the biggest news for the moment that they break. And like the day that you get a new Batman and you're going to go live and just do a short news piece on it immediately, which I think is really cool.
Oh,
think
that's
that's a great
awesome.
idea.
Smart.
It's really good. And then expect a lot more interactivity in the live chat. Expect your movie talk regulars. You'll have Roca and Haley and Jeff Snyder. And plus, you get Macuga every Friday.
Every Friday.
You're on every Friday?
The wild
It's on
man.
every Friday. So there'll be.
That's so cool.
there's
What are you going
gonna-
to talk about?
We don't know yet.
Movies.
There's going to be more panelists that are going to be announced, but right now that's just kind of like the soft announcement. And Perry's going to come on more to talk about it. But I think it was really cool. It's a good. It's a good move because the thing is, and then Perry knows it, and a lot of people know it. That for a long time, it's just been the same show,
Right.
And things need to evolve, and she wants to evolve. And Perry's got one of the best movie brains in this office,
100%.
And to be able to do this kind of 20-minute fast, kind of short, let's knock down the stories. It's a movie news show. That's what you want. You want to hear bullshit and nonsense, you come to this show. You want to hear like just straight up movie news, break down the facts. That's what they're going to do over there, and they have some really good pundits to do it. So.
And they, I've been helping Perry with this and talking to her about it. Trying to give her some ideas of what I think the show could look like, a little more fun, but also serious and things like that. And I know I make a lot of jokes, but I've always wanted to be on Movie Talk because I enjoy myself when I'm on the show. I like talking movies. I love when we talk movies on here, and I think it, like a little bit of a wildness on a Friday is kind of a lot of fun for the show. And I think 20 minutes, like the YouTube audience, you see, a lot of the diehards like I want 45, but a lot of the YouTube audience trails off after about 20.
Well, you remember, people don't like change in general. It's like when we would announce this show. Oh, I wish it was a Schmoedown show. Oh yeah, Collider Live. No, they love Collider Live. It's just you just have to have them trust you.
Sure.
And I think you should do a 20-minute episode on Friday where it's just beer pong.
I'd love that idea.
Just one episode where it's just the two of you guys.
You know,
playing
beer pong doesn't actually have a.
I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
Actually,
ping pong,
It's the throwing.
Actually,
I know.
if you look at the history of beer pong, as I did as a funny thesis for my class my senior year of college,
Makes sense.
It started.
What was the thesis statement?
The thesis statement was the evolution of games and gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I talked about like gameplay and how it made sense in the business world, right? And so I talked about how beer pong companies developed in tables and all this kind of stuff, right? So the actual first incantation of beer pong is played with a paddle. There was a net,
See?
and there was cups of beer.
Shows how
and
much you know.
Certain fraternities in certain places invented this game of beer pong, and then the actual term for what we call now beer pong is called Beirut.
Oh,
the
that's
game
right.
was called
See?
Beirut.
That's what we call in Boston.
Yes,
Growing up.
exactly.
Okay, so why are you breaking my chops? I was right.
Well, no, we don't play with this. I'm saying we call
That's
that
Beirut.
Beirut.
Right.
Is that the Masters?
But this is
theme?
beer pong.
Also, fun fact for you guys: do you know that I'm unbelievable at ping pong?
Ping pong or beer
Did not
pong?
know that, but I would
No,
probably
ping,
smoke you.
ping pong.
Bong?
My dad was Massachusetts state champ.
Oh, wow.
I grew up with a ping pong table. I have like a cross between Japanese and Chinese grip where I use pendulum style. I'm like unbelievable
That's
at
true.
ping pong.
Still?
I would
This
love to
is
play
true.
it because I grew up
Yeah.
just hustling ping
Really?
pong tables.
Yeah, very good ping pong.
You know who's incredible? At,
Adam
ping
Smith.
Pong? Adam Smith.
Really?
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I haven't played
can't beat
in a
him.
long time, but I was really
At
good
real
back in the
ping
day.
pong, Cody?
Real
Yeah,
ping
he's
pong.
fantastic.
Like
He's
Forrest
my
Gump
ass.
good?
Yeah, very good.
And he's got a ton of spin on his day. He
I
has a
believe
very
it.
hard
He's got
serve to
top spin?
return.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
He's good.
it takes years.
Yeah.
Takes years.
That's one thing.
Play like a champ.
My one buddy who was in a band that toured forever. They were a pretty big band.
Riley and the Shits?
Riley and the Shits. Actually, Riley and the Shits opened for him in 2007.
Yeah, it
It
was
was good.
2007.
Yeah, 2007.
June.
Yeah. He said, listen to this rule in life. Whatever you do, never play musicians in bar sports because that's all we
all
have
you do,
time.
right.
It's like backstage. They have pool tables and they have ping pong tables or
And
darts.
darts.
And darts.
Darts.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. Well, look at that.
And foosball.
Lots of good stuff coming out there.
love
So,
foosball.
so there you go. You have your announcements, and I can't wait to read
got
all
Perry.
that.
Awesome.
Super positive
Really
in the Collider Live. I want to see the Collider Live Facebook, and I'm going to read that chat. That's the one chat. I know we haven't been diving into the comments of the YouTube as much. I know you
Speak
do.
for
I know
yourself.
you do. But the Facebook group. I do check that out. So go join that Facebook group and join. There's two groups that you should join, and that's the Facebook group for Collider Live, official group, and the Movie Trivia Schmoedown group. Lots of great conversation going on in both of those. And
Which do you like better?
it's not a liking better. It's not a liking.
Which is going to win an Emmy?
the Schmoedown group because
I'm getting so many answers
I know
today.
I do since we switched over from the Schmoeville to the Collider Live. It's 100 times better.
Bomb.
It's 100 times better, and there's a lot of great conversation in there, and I love it. But it's just the movie trivia Schmoedown. That's
cleaned
my
out the
baby. So
cesspool.
and it's easy for me to because I like to see what what the atmosphere is, of what matches they're talking about, what matches, like suggestions, or polls up there all the time. So it's a very interactive group over on the Schmoedown. It's so
Yeah,
Collider
I have a
Live.
question for the Facebook group.
Which one?
That I want them to, which one?
Which group?
Oh, Collider Live.
Yeah.
Want some cookies?
So this was did you guys see Dorina on her story yesterday? Was answering questions. You know, you can
You gotta
say.
show me how to do that. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'll show you.
ESPN,
It's
Yeah.
awesome. You'll love
I
it.
saw
'Cause
it.
it's a
I
great
looked
way
yours.
to interact
I
with
looked at
people.
yours. Yours was good.
Thank you. Dorina was doing it, and somebody asked her, "How long would it take you to kick Roxy Striar's ass?"
Oh.
And she said back like, "Why would I want to kick Roxy Striar's ass? The two of us would take on everybody in the studio before we took on each other or whatever, because she's the shit." But out of curiosity, just in this game,
Yeah.
if Dorina and I were to fight, do you guys think she would kick my ass?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Mama.
Okay, hold on.
How do you
Here's-
get mad?
Yeah,
and
does
like,
she get
can
mad?
you Hulk out?
Have you met Roxy Striar?
Yeah, she did slap a
she's-
6'4" gentleman.
See, here's
Pretty
the
good.
truth. You don't
That's
see
true.
a lot of the fire from Dorina, but it's there.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
lives there, and she's got some inches on you.
Okay,
She
so
does have some
Yeah.
inches. Do you think she fights?
I think she could if pushed.
But do you think she has? Because I think it's very different. Because I have.
I know you have.
But
Well, for
also,
you're from Boston,
and
that's like
again,
a
I'm
rite of
saying like I
process.
would never, unless it would have to be we're fighting because this is fun or whatever. I love Dorina. I'm not hitting her. But if I did, I don't know. I don't feel like she could kick my ass.
Okay, here's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to start. It's like the Schmoedown pros and cons.
Yeah,
right?
be honest.
I'm
And
being
by the way, Roxy brought this up.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
And I'm throwing some funny.
Why would they bring that up? I mean, why are they having these two people fight?
Dorina and I for sure would kick all of your asses together.
Totally, 'cause
But
I'm
if
not
we-
gonna lay
Why are they
hands on a
blending
woman.
real life
You know?
with fights?
If at the end one of us had to take the other out to survive because we're in the apocalypse now,
Right.
which one?
Okay, so these are my pros and cons.
Yeah,
Okay.
give them to me.
So pros,
You can't-
Dorina's got a couple inches on you. She's a little bit taller,
What-
right?
And
So
you can't
pros-
fight death. Didn't we learn anything?
Yeah, you can't
That's
fight
true.
death. She is
You
evil.
can't kill a ghost.
Dead are already
Yeah,
here.
right?
Mm-hmm.
She is Mexican, and she's talked about luchador matches before, so she's got some like pre-existing technique things
Yeah.
that she's seen.
I think she'd hit you in the head with a brick.
Yeah,
Oh, then I'm out.
Yeah.
like weapons.
I mean, because I'm not hitting her with a brick.
No, the
I
pros
think
from Roxy is she's from Boston.
Yeah.
She's
Scrappy.
fiery
Scrappy,
and
I was gonna say.
scrappy.
And when
She's seen
she's
some shit.
and when she's mad,
Look out.
It's Hulk.
I'm just not good at fighting dirty though. Like I can't blindside somebody
Yeah.
or like
it depends
take
on what
a
we're looking
brick.
at. It depends on what
Yeah.
kind of fight you're looking at. If you're looking at and you're talking end of the world type of fight, that you better
That's
be
true. Then
able
I
to
guess
take
I'll
somebody
take a
out.
brick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta.
Just can't picture.
If you guys don't watch Barry, I highly
do, but I haven't seen the
recommend
second
so
season
good.
yet.
watching Barry.
That
This
new
one-
episode is so good.
I
John.
haven't
heard
watched
Cody-
it yet.
Oh my god.
How
It
many
might-
episodes in are we this season?
4.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm
Same
4
as
episodes
Game of
behind.
This is season 3.
Season 2.
Season
Okay,
2.
because Eric Zipper posted about it. He's like, yeah, Game of Thrones is great. But it's like, guys, that episode of Barry.
I have to
It's
watch.
Incredible.
It's the best episode of TV, like single episode of TV I've seen in so long. Different than Game. Like, listen, you can't go
Hold on.
Game of Thrones.
Hold on.
can't
Are you
go
calling
like
your
that.
wife?
I'm calling her again.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Why
tired.
she watch?
What do you think? What do you
No,
think?
she does not watch. You try to watch.
This
she doesn't
episode
watch.
of Barry
No,
was
because
like
I'm
the
gonna
Fly
have-
episode.
I'm gonna
of
have
Breaking
Macuga.
Bad,
I'm gonna have
but 30
Macuga.
times better.
I'm gonna have Macuga.
Catch up on
It was like
Lucy.
Pine Barrens and Sopranos.
But what
I mean, this
I'm-
was unbelievable.
What I'm finally doing on Sundays, though, thanks to you and others, Billions. That show's freaking dirty
Yeah,
too.
it's so good.
Holy crap!
So good.
Nah, she's
It
not
is.
picking up this time.
It is creepy good.
She
It's-
knows what you're doing.
Probably. She's had enough. Well, you know who was in the studio yesterday was Jamie Costa.
Yeah.
Really? Did you get him to do some Robin Williams?
He did it for Rick Ingram because Ingram was in here also. Too. Oh, is that my wife? She's calling me back. Okay, good. Hey, you're on the air again.
Hey, Sadie!
Hi, Sadie.
More.
Okay, I'll try to wake up for this.
Oh boy.
Oh, are you sleeping?
I wish.
Oh, okay. So we were talking about TV, and you've made it clear a couple times that you believe that you and Macuga have very similar tastes.
I think we do.
Yeah,
We
I
both
agree.
hated Moon.
Yes. The worst movie of made ever that people like.
You shut your
I
mouth.
love him for that alone. For that alone, I think we have
Yeah.
the same taste because that was the worst, most depressing, horrible thing ever put
I
together.
love it.
I'd legitimately rather get hit in the face
By Dorina
with
with a
an
brick?
actual moon than watch Moon again.
So, honey,
That's what I felt like after watching that.
okay,
Yeah.
well, listen.
Yeah.
So we were talking, and Roxy and Macuga are the big TV people. So they always, you and I look for shit to watch every night. We can ever.
You
You usually text
Sometimes
me.
you spend the entire night just
Yeah.
looking through Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they just brought up a show, and they said it was some of the best television ever, and I was like, oh, well, we bailed on that show, and that show was Macuga.
Barry.
What was it?
Barry on HBO. Sadie, I'm telling you, it's one of the most interesting and well done shows you'll ever see.
But you did start
We
it?
watched like 3 episodes, and then she was done with it.
Get
Well,
back
yeah,
into
we
it. This
went
season
to-
is so good, Sadie.
I didn't think it was bad, but I had a hard time rooting for him because he's a murderer.
I know,
and
but-
Yeah, but so is Walter White.
She didn't watch Breaking Bad.
Ooh, so is Tony
didn't
Soprano?
watch that.
She didn't watch
I
Sopranos.
have a problem with I can appreciate the shows The Sopranos. I can appreciate I watched some of it, I can appreciate that was a good show, but I have a hard time with intense violence
Can you?
and
Okay, I get that
kind of
too.
stuff. I just can't watch it.
Although she watched Game of Thrones with me, the battle, she liked that episode.
They're
Okay.
all murderers.
It was it was really good TV, but I just can't.
All right, Sadie, I'm gonna
It's
sell it
hard
to you
for
like
me.
this. I'm gonna sell it to you like this because my wife does not like the gratuitous violence either, though for some reason only listens to true crime podcasts. I don't know. But so give season 1 till the very end. You got to give it till the very end and see his struggle as this assassin. And then if you don't want to watch past season 1, I totally get it. But season 2, his struggle is real, and it's just so well done, so well written. And this last episode of Barry is one of the best episodes of TV you'll ever watch.
Nice.
Okay, I will give it to the end of season 1. You're giving it a good sell.
Sure.
I'll give it a chance.
All right, we'll give it a
but
shot.
And
You'll
hey,
like it.
if you don't like
I'm
it, Sadie,
telling you, I'm having a hard time rooting for him, and I'm a big fan of his.
and if you don't like it, Sadie, I will come over and make pasta carbonara just for you.
Yeah.
You need to do that anyway.
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna continue talking about shows that we don't watch.
Well, we've started a lot of them though.
And what's
Who in that room has 2 kids under the age of 10?
Nah, I'm not. Normally I use that excuse for like everything, but like when it comes to the TV, honey, we've bailed on quite a bunch.
You do, but here's why. Because when you have such little free time in your day for yourself, then you have to be really choosy about what you're giving that
Right.
time to.
true.
I can't
I buy
just
that.
commit to any show. I have to be sure that
Yeah.
is this. I'm giving my 1 hour in the day between childcare and sleep that I have for myself to this show.
Sadie, can I be perfectly
Yeah,
honest
that's
with
a
you?
damn good point.
I watched all of season 1 of Barry, and it's not that I don't love it, but I don't think you should do it.
Really?
Whoa.
I absolutely love it, but the way you
Damn it,
just
Roxy.
pitched the
We
way you
had
just
her.
pitched that, if you have time for one thing a week and you already after 3 episodes did not get behind him, I don't think you're gonna get behind him. It gets worse. Not the show,
this
the person.
My life. I barely have time to shave my legs. I have to brush my teeth while a baby is clawing at me. I mean, this is like
Well, here's-
I have 1 hour in my day, and it better be good.
Yeah.
Sadie,
The
I've
show
got an
better be
easy fix
freaking
for that.
good if I-
You said the baby is clawing at you while you're brushing your teeth. Just put shaving creams on your leg, and she
the
can
baby
claw
does.
the
That's
hair
true.
off your leg.
That's good. I should just hand her a razor and see what she.
That's
Hey!
good. Well, yeah. We'll make sure Vivi doesn't just leave him hanging around. Okay. Actually, where's Vivian? Where's Vivi? She's home. She's home right now.
We're watching at Bristol Farms in the freezing cold.
Right now?
Yeah.
All right, put
We're eating lunch.
Vivian on for a second. We're live on the air, but I don't give a shit. Give a crap.
Vivi,
Sorry.
You want to be on the air with Daddy real
Of course she
quick?
does.
Okay. Say hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, Vivi. So Vivi,
Hello.
Vivi, how many times have you read the Harry Potter books?
I'm starting my 5th time.
5th time,
Oh my God.
how many of the books have you read?
3.
No, you've read more than 3.
You've read like 6 of them. Yeah, I've read 6.
What's your favorite one?
What's your favorite one? What's your favorite one? Come here. They can't hear you unless you're over here. 6.
6 is your
Half-Blood Prince.
The 6.
okay.
That's Half-Blood Prince.
And
right?
who's your favorite character?
Harry Potter.
Oh, Harry Potter was. Oh, very cool.
okay.
I thought it was Ron. I would have guessed
Oh,
Ron.
Ron Weasley. She's into the gingers.
Yeah. And all right. Last question, Vivi.
Harry.
Last question for you. Who's your favorite Schmoedown player?
Rachel Cushing.
What about the Wild Man? You used to like the Wild Man.
All right.
Viv, who's your favorite manager, though?
Emma Fife.
Way to go.
Rox, you walked into that one.
Yeah, you walked into that. All right.
For you.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Okay, love you.
Love
Love you
you.
too. Good family
That was
time.
sweet.
That was
That
really,
was
yeah. So that was really funny, actually. You did set. You
Put that in your directionally challenged pipe and smoke it.
She sent me Viv sent me a voice note.
Oh yeah.
Just said, "Why did you slap that man?"
It was good.
That's good. How was
that was my
I didn't get a
voicemail.
chance to listen. How was Betsy Brandt yesterday? Was she
She
good?
was fantastic.
She is
Oh,
the greatest
my
person.
God.
tall.
Super tall.
She's
God.
so tall. In that
So
picture,
personal.
Perry and I look like piss ants.
Someone said, I thought that was your wife and your 2 kids. when you look first glance, it looks like I'm
You know
standing
who
with
still hasn't been sent that photo?
who?
Me. Because you never send the pictures.
Whose fault is that?
Yours.
I guess. You gotta catch me. I mean,
Math checks out.
Riley, how many times did I say?
Yeah.
But you know what's
A
easy?
lot.
You know what's really easy
Taking
to
a
do?
screenshot? You want to know why I can't? Because you do this weird thing where you chop it at the bottom of my head instead of putting the whole photo up.
Perry posted it too.
So I ended up finding it finally when she did.
All right, so you did it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Because I would like the original photo. And you zoom in, it's all
So
awkward.
what you need to do then after we take a picture, say airdrop that shit to me, motherfucker.
I do.
You never said that to me, not once. No, what are you looking at them for? They're not going to tell you that you did.
Yes, they are.
Hold on. I might
I've seen her ask for the airdrop.
Every time.
I might have to second Roxy on this one.
What are
Yeah.
you looking
And I
at
say
there?
She's
no.
like, can you?
No, I just think you forget.
You just walk
That's probably
away
true.
sometimes.
You say, yeah. Like that. Yeah.
What the fuck do you
Done the
want from me?
Christian thing. Yeah.
What do you want from me?
The photo. Is that not clear?
I don't know.
Roxy, I had the photo. You should have just asked me.
There you go.
Oh.
See?
I see what you did
Okay,
there.
now you-
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That's
I
Blew it.
see what you did
All right,
there.
listen to me. We're gonna go to break, and then when we get back.
I'm listening.
When we get back, we're gonna do some movie news, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna talk full spoilers on Avengers. So deal with it.
Hey, Collider fans, John Roca here. Look that behind me. There it is. Collider Sports. That's right. That is happening. We've got some great programming on there already for those of you that have already watched.
I want it now.
Thanks so much. We got so much coming down the pike. We're talking about NFL. We're going to talk about NBA. There's plans about NHL. Golf is in the equation now. And of course, the Premier League show that I host with Jack Hind, that's been in motion for the last couple of weeks. And then an MMA show is on the way from Dennis Zhang, me, and Jay Williams. All those things are happening here at Collider. And look, we want to hear from you, so we want you to listen. We want you to watch. If you're a sports fan, even if you're not a sports fan, we might entertain you, teach you something new about a sport that you may not have known much about, or maybe so deep into it that you wanted to learn even more about it. We've got you covered. You can do that. Follow us on iTunes and on YouTube. You can there watch all the shows or listen to all the shows that you want, and then leave us comments and rate the shows as well and review them, and then let us know what other sports you want us to cover. Look, we're not touching rugby. I'll just tell you that right now. That's as far out as we'll go, or cricket. But maybe in the future, if we go Collider worldwide, that's certainly a possibility. But for right now, Collider Sports is there for you. Take a look at it, take a watch, and let us know what you think.
Oh, hi guys. It's Perry here, and I am going to tell you about The Witching Hour. It is the show that I host along with Collider.com's Haley Fouch. It is in podcast form on the Collider Factory feed, and we also have the video up and running every Tuesday for you right there on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel. We talk about everything horror. We're talking TV, movies, the newest releases. We talk about movies that are celebrating anniversaries. We've even talked about books. It's crazy. If it is scary, we are talking about it on The Witching Hour. We also have so many filmmaker interviews, really cool stuff. It's all coming your way every single Tuesday on The Witching Hour. Check it out. Collider Factory and the Collider Podcast YouTube channel.
Hello, Collider Live. My name is Amy Dallin.
And I'm Coy Jandro, and we host a little show we love called Collider Heroes.
and it is all of the things we love about movies, TV, comics themselves, all the breaking news, trailers, photos, but not paparazzi photos.
All of the superhero stuff we love, all of the indie comic stuff we love, all the stuff you had no idea was based on comics.
80 years of comic lore have led to this show, and many years in film and TV, and we're living in a golden age of comics, and we want to share all of that zeal with you folks.
So we talk about the stuff that's coming out, we talk about what we hope is coming out, we do fantasy casting of things that should exist, why don't they exist?
And we do your Twitter questions asking directly to us what we think of certain things, and every single week, since we both actually love and read physical comics, buy and print, we have a comic pull list where our 5 biggest favorite books of the week come out, and we dive into those with you guys.
You can buy digital, I'll forgive you, as long as you're paying for your comics. It's all good.
But if you buy in print, you can bag them and board them, and then they're worth more later. Because comics are like certain things from the 90s that are totally worth the value. Buy comics, buy in print. Digital's never worth anything later. Buy in print. Keep comic stores alive.
Or we can debate collector's items all day long. We can debate casting. We can debate movie news. We can have all of our friends come join us, as we frequently do. We can ask professionals about their work. We've had some amazing guests come by the show.
Yep. We try to
can catch it every Wednesday.
That are on these properties that also love comics. You hear what it's like from their perspective, from inside, from outside, and this is all with the focus of bringing all this news to you guys. And we're here every Wednesday on Collider, and we love this stuff and want to share it with you guys.
We'll see you then.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. That's right, they gave Reilly his own podcast. The Reilly Roundtable is on its new home. It drops every Thursday. The Reilly Roundtable is a little bit about everything. It's about movies and life and movies and everything in between. I like to have on special guests for discussions like Justice League versus Batman v Superman, for discussions about wine tasting, for discussions about UFOs, and everything in between. That's right, the Reilly Roundtable drops on Thursdays on the One-on-One with Kristian Harloff podcast feed, and later on Collider Video's own podcast video network. So check it out every Thursday, the Reilly Roundtable. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, one of the hosts for Collider Sports Time. That's our new show there on the Collider Sports Network. It's our flagship show, just like Collider Movie Talk. We get on, talk about a bunch of sports issues of the day and what is burning up social media, what topics are burning up social media. That's what we do on Collider Sports Time. I'm joined by my top 10 co-host, Matt Nost. Me and him, we welcome a bevy of guests every week to talk about NFL, the Major League Baseball playoffs, NHL, and the NBA, which is starting up soon. We're going to talk about that. We also get into UFC stuff, college football, all the stuff that's happening in the world of sports. We're going to cover it on Collider Sports Time. And we're going to take the time to break it all down and give our opinions and our unique takes and unfiltered thoughts on what we think about the sports news of the day. So don't forget to join us every week on Monday for the Collider Sports Time show on the Collider Sports Network. And don't forget to subscribe on the Collider Sports Network on YouTube and on the Collider Sports podcast feed. We're going to bring you all kinds of stuff. Hope to hear from you soon.
Welcome back to Collider Live, everybody. It's going to be a really intense conversation here as we're about to get into the Endgame spoilers, but we're going to go over some movie news first. And it's so funny. I jinxed myself, Rox. I jinxed myself. Because I said I don't go into the YouTube comments anymore because you're going to get some poop when you go in there. So I go into the Facebook group.
And there's poop?
Oh, this guy.
Poop in the group.
And I'm doing the voice. Macuga, you like the other voice, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we like the less peaky one, the more.
No,
I tuned in for a second, and they were rambling on about watching Game of Thrones, not Endgame, and talking about stupid stories. Whatever. Every time I give Collider Live a chance, they just ramble on and stuff, and I don't care about it. Maybe, just maybe, then they'll get to the topic of the video.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, and it's like, dude. And I wrote him, and I said, please leave and never come back.
Yeah.
Good. Get out of here. Yeah. We don't want you. We don't want you. That's why, again, you want movie news? You want a full spoiler? Perry Nemiroff is going to have movie talk, 20 minutes.
She just posted on her Instagram the coolest picture of it.
I'm going to throw this guy out of the group. I'm throwing him out.
I'm so happy for Perry.
Do you guys know that there is a brand called Nemiroff Vodka that I've been reaching out to for about a year and a half to try and get Perry sponsored?
Is it spelled the same way?
It's spelled the exact same way.
This is so cool. And also, she just so earned that. This is so exciting.
Hold on, keep talking. I'm throwing
Monday, it's live Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time.
3 p.m. PST.
That's so cool.
What up?
That's going to be you on Fridays.
Yeah.
Kicking off.
Yeah. Crush it.
He's getting
Been
lucky.
saying for years. I like
Yeah.
it when you're on movie talk.
Thanks, man.
Has anybody talked to Alice what he thinks about it? He must be so happy for her.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's on cloud nine.
All right, anyway.
Ellis, big Perry fan.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some movie news. Let's get some movie
What
news
just
before we jump
happened?
in.
You okay?
Yeah, I just couldn't find them. I'll talk some out later. I say that thing.
It's sort of like me back in the day when the bouncer was looking for me at the bar and I just like be hiding, ducking, dodging.
That's what it is.
me
It's like it's
too.
that store that is not just like it's a forum. That is the Collider Life safe zone. So if you go in there, it's like people can give criticisms is one thing. That's why when people always say like, oh, I can't take criticisms. Criticism. It has nothing to do with criticism. Criticism is, hey, I really love watching the show, but for me, it just took a little long before we got to the Avengers thing. I wish that, I would love it. I'm probably going to come back a little later because this stuff isn't for me. That's a fair criticism. That stupid shit with all caps, it's dopey shit. You get thrown out into the
I
garbage.
say that all the time. It's how you approach the conversation. If you come in hot and you're saying names and stupid things,
You're out.
You're out.
You're out.
It's sort of like
it's my store.
approaching
You're
people
out.
in general. You don't come up and speak directly into their ear hole.
No.
You'd be like, hello.
You don't walk into a convenience store with your dick out.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you do, you get
Well said.
you get thrown out.
You go to jail sometimes
And,
with that.
Yeah, and you get thrown out. So you're out.
Roxy
Anyway,
seems confused.
yeah.
Well, just how into that reference you all were. Like, yep,
You can't
don't
do it.
do
You
Can't
that.
do it. Shouldn't
It's
do
not.
it.
It's frowned
It's
on.
Very well said.
You just can't do
Don't
it.
Do it.
You set your own rules. Other
Practical
people's
joke?
rules.
No.
No.
Other people's rules.
Okay.
That's
So-
the law.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're out. All right, what's going
No
on?
shirt, no shoes,
So we
no
just-
dick out.
Yeah, can't do it. Put it back in. Let's go with
Fair enough.
let's go with this stupid trailer that came out.
You want to go with Sonic?
You want to
It
come
is-
in hot.
It's awful.
That
it looks
trailer.
like Smurfs.
Okay.
Can
That
I
trailer,
tell you,
man.
You liked
how
it.
hard I disagree with you?
What?
I feel so bad.
Oh,
What?
Okay.
You're the one person in the
Wow.
world that likes it. Why do you like it?
I'm so into this.
Okay.
It's so
Stupid.
stupid.
Okay, all right.
It's so stupid.
But you like it.
Oh God,
Okay, well,
yes. I mean,
But you don't
Jim
think it looks
Carrey,
good. You just think it looks fun.
It looks like I'm gonna love it.
Okay.
Can I-
But it doesn't look like a good movie.
It looks like I'm gonna have the best time.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Is it gonna win an Oscar?
No. Also not asking you. As far as a crafted, well-made film, this is not going to be that. You can
How
have
could
fun.
I know until I've seen it?
Like, you know what? You're
Oh,
skating around
wow,
it. You're
boom.
skating around it. You son of a.
I'd like to ask a question to the group.
Sure, Bill.
If one of you gets invited to the screening with a +1, may I be your +1?
Yes.
For Sonic.
For sure.
If you want, you probably scream the way you do in a horror film.
Oh man.
Yes.
I will.
you
I tell
can.
you, I'm
Why?
leaning way more towards Roxy.
Really? You don't think this looks
no,
bad?
this looks
Oh, okay.
horrendous.
Why would you guys want to torture yourself with this movie?
How
So
much fun
good.
are we gonna have?
The,
mean-
the hedgehog has teeth.
None.
That look like human teeth.
It just looks
the
so
mus-
bad.
the
The
mustaches.
CGI is bad. That's Jim Carrey. Looks.
So
I mean,
what did you guys
it's-
get of the plot of the movie?
that
I don't know.
That this guy, I don't know.
He's gonna save the world.
Yeah, for sure. Because
And you
This,
can jump
this
through
is
portals.
legitimately like Bumblebee meets Smurfs meets some kind of weird Jim Carrey character study.
I'll give you Last Night. I'm not going to give you Bumblebee.
No, okay. Sure,
he
I'm just
was-
saying, like the surprising find of an alien.
It looks like Inspector Gadget. Is what it looks like.
totally.
also I like Ben Schwartz, and I think that voice is great. Jim Carrey's awesome. I mean, we're gonna just do it.
I think
we're just doing it.
I think it looks like shit.
so, and he's
Yikes.
able to
Do you
insult
like
Neil
Sonic?
McDonough like
Yeah,
that.
I'm very much.
Yeah,
I
Neil
like
McDonough.
Roger Craig Smith's Sonic. They should have voiced. They
Same.
should have gotten him.
Yeah, yeah.
He should have done it. Nothing against Ben Schwartz, but he's not. That always drives me nuts when a very popular voice actor has made the voice his own for so long, and because they're like Ben Schwartz, I like him, great, but they'd only get him because he's a name. It's like you have Jim Carrey, use Roger Craig Smith, you got him.
Who cares who the voice of Sonic is? Like, do you know what I mean?
Unless it's not an established character.
Correct.
Because if you need a celebrity to establish a character, the character's already established. You don't need Ben Schwartz to do it.
And those deep sweaties, they've been following Roger for years. And they want to see him in the movie. They've been asking and asking and asking.
Yeah, he should have been.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't care.
The same reason why when they had Hugo Weaving as Megatron, not necessary.
Right.
I don't care about that either.
No, because you don't respect voice actors.
No, I do.
I don't know.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one, Roxy.
Leave and never come back.
Let me ask you a question. What was the plot of the Sonic video games? Because I remember playing them and loving them and being pretty good, but the plot was just collect the rings
coins.
and,
Get the
and beat
coins.
that guy, right?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
beat him.
You got
So
it.
he's clearly a bad guy, but yet he can come in and talk to the military like that? What is that? That's like the
Because he's
Rocky
higher
Five.
ranking.
No, he's not. He would wear a uniform.
I don't know.
That is his uniform.
That?
The asshole uniform.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it looks like shit.
Can you guys name a movie the last time that Jim Carrey was good in it? Like
I
good
didn't
in a
watch
movie?
his show. Did you?
I couldn't get into it. I bailed after the first
I heard it
episode.
was unbelievable.
I would use the term unbelievable
In a different way.
I like Michelle Gondry very much. I mean, that's the reason I want to watch it because Eternal Sunshine's one of my favorite movies of all
Same.
time.
You and I are on the same page.
But I
there.
can't stand
Top
that
5
movie.
for me.
Yeah, let's see.
And this show was just weird for the weird purposes, in my opinion.
I didn't love Kick-Ass 2, but
Yes, Man.
But he was good in it.
Yes, man.
Is that really? He really hasn't been done many movies lately.
He had
Bruce Almighty was so good in 2003.
Yeah, but you're going backwards. I mean, he's talking about recently. And Mr. Popper's Penguins was not good.
No.
The Incredible Wonderstone was terrible. He was good in Kick-Ass 2, but he's hardly in it.
What is the Bad Batch?
Again, he plays a hermit.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like a cartoon.
I don't know.
American Black comedy.
Suki Waterhouse is in it though. No, I don't know.
Wait, so the poster is a smile on somebody's shorts?
Yeah, it looks like
Looks
it.
like it.
And a gun.
Never saw it.
I thought it was animated at first.
Yeah.
Oops, a daisy. It's a mink.
So yeah,
swinging
the
a
answer is
missile.
no. He hasn't been in anything pretty good in a while, and that's also because a lot of rumors that he's just. I mean, you see interviews with him too. He hasn't been the easiest to work with.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants that life anymore.
Yeah.
From what I watch a ton of interviews with him as well, and I just think he kind of did his thing,
That's
and
it.
now is taking some paychecks and is like living his life.
Well,
Can you
Sonic
imagine
is clearly a choice going
It's
down
a
that
choice.
route.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the scene that they show, there was like the extended scene of him like putting Neil McDonough in his place, which don't mess with Neil McDonough. That's
Neil
a Saint
McDonough
Nick's original.
looks good.
He's
for his
great.
age.
Yeah.
That guy was a Saint Nick's
He's
regular.
so
Nick's
talented.
regular, yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. He was also a regular at Sonny McLean's, which is my
Yeah,
Boston
at
bar.
Sonny McLean's,
and
and
he would
that's-
play with his band there.
Sadie and I had many dates at Sonny McLean's
Why?
because we used to hang out there with the comedy troupe that I was kind of with, stand-up comedy. And the guy who ran it was a big Boston guy.
Yeah, one of
So
my
I would
favorite
go.
bars in Los
Yeah.
Angeles,
They
the
had
best wings.
Great karaoke.
Yeah.
Great karaoke.
So
That has a stage.
Yeah, Sadie had her birthday party.
And Neil would play on the stage with his band.
Anyway, let's move on. Anything else worth it in news, or should we just get into the Endgame stuff?
I mean, I'd like to announce for our listeners and everything. THR is reporting David Dastmalchian is going to be
Yeah.
in Suicide Squad.
Right, and he's coming on
as
the show.
Polka Dot Man, and he's
Coming
coming
back
next
on.
Tuesday.
He's coming back
Right,
on.
he's coming back
and
on.
I'm
Coming
gonna be
a
here on
week from
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
No,
He's
it's
great.
Thursday. It's Thursday. They moved it.
Nope.
What do you mean, no?
You
Go
guys,
with it.
did you guys know that I'm in a movie with him?
You told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool,
awesome.
right? I'm in a movie with somebody who's in a DC movie.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to him about. Well, you can ask some
one
questions
movie.
about it. And he's going to be here. He'll
He
be
was
back
so
again.
nice the last time.
He was awesome.
Talking
He was
about
great.
Ant-Man stuff.
Yeah, he was awesome. So to have him back in will be really cool. He's a nice guy, and again to have a returning guest,
Yes.
come back in to promote some shit.
Have we had that before?
I don't know yet. I know Ron Perlman was thinking
Tom
about coming back.
Dagnino.
Yeah, Tom Dagnino, if that counts. But as far as guests that have been booked, I don't know. He might be the first. But that'd be cool to have
We've
him
had
back
some
in.
a request for some repeat guests, just haven't gotten them on yet.
Right.
Me
I
too.
mean, like Reminisces, but
Yeah.
he's more like a regular
Yeah.
now at this point. So.
We are really bummed. Unfortunately, Bosch had to cancel. We were supposed to get Bosch.
No,
on.
you were so excited.
I moved my entire life around to be here for that
Yeah.
interview,
They canceled.
and he canceled. It's a bummer. And then because that show, your wife won't like it. It's a great LA crime show.
Try to pop him on here and then stick it in TV.
I mean, again, we wanted him we gave him all of the times that he could, and he gave us a time, and that was the time he could do, and that was that. I mean, we would have loved to
When
have him
was
on
it?
here. It's supposed to be today at 2:30.
Yeah, poop.
I'm so sorry. Who was the guest I moved my entire life around for? And then they canceled?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was. We talked about it? We talked
We
about it.
kind
It
of
was
talked
Topher
about
Grace.
it. Topher Grace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did
I knew
it to
who it
all of
was.
us.
I just didn't want to say it.
I don't know if we did that. Well, I just did. That's everything, right? Is that the news?
Yeah, that's pretty much
All
it.
right,
We
let's
should go
just-
into Avengers.
Let's just get into it. So, hopefully, that person who was so excited about whether or not we were going to talk about it has left and has no idea we're about to do it because I don't want them to hear us talk about it. They don't deserve it. Let's talk about Endgame. I listened to the score, and by the way, heavy spoilers here.
All the spoilers.
All the
So if you haven't
spoilers all
seen,
the time.
If you haven't seen the movie, then you should probably shut this off. You come back and you watch it whenever you want. I was listening to the score. I love that Apple Music. By the
I know.
way.
I'm going to look into
It's
it
the
now.
best. You ever had-
Really? No. I'm a big Pandora. Well, we got Alexa, so it's Amazon Music.
It's 100 times better than anything that I've ever had. Apple. You get Apple Music. It was like $9.99 a month or whatever.
Okay.
So you just download everything. It just goes right to your phone if you're at Apple.
Interesting.
And I have Apple
On your iPhone?
Yeah, and I have and I just got Endgame the score listening
okay.
to it on the way in. Dude, it is so good.
Yeah.
And even better than Infinity War. Because if I picked up a lot of...
The movie or just
the score? The movie in general, but obviously. But the score itself, there's so much stuff that Alan Silvestri's doing in this one. There's like this one track that I can't forget. It's the How Works. I can't remember what it's called. And it has like this jazzy kind of feel to it, right? And I kind of remember where it was in the movie, but now that I've listened to it again, it's so brilliant. It really it's called The How Works. The How Works.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. So, you know what, you can Alex, if you can put your headphones on, just go to the part where he the little jazzy part with the piano, because you can hear him playing like the piano part with
a little jazzy part.
Yeah, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
And when you find that, just let me know. But the movie, right?
Yeah.
It was how many times has everybody seen it?
Only once.
Only once. Okay, I'm the only
I'm
two.
gonna go probably this week or weekend.
Yeah, I'm going this weekend again.
Okay.
Me too.
Is that it? You got it? The piano part?
Not yet. He just started listening.
Oh, okay. The opening scene alone, because if you come around from Infinity War with that snap and everybody's just gone dust, you know, that when you open up with Clint, everybody knew that his family was going to get dusted in that scene, right?
Totally.
Hawkeye is what you're...
Clint, yeah.
His name's Clint.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hear you say Clint. I was
Is that
just
it?
telling people what you're talking
I was like,
about.
Clint Eastwood.
Here you go. Listen.
So great.
Where is this in the movie?
It's when they figure out how to when after Clint goes back in time and they realize they're working on it's like the little, it's kind of got like a Mission Impossible
When he's
feel to
looking
it.
through the window at his...
Yeah, when he comes back. Like, so you start the beginning of this track, it's right as he says, it worked. Can you start the beginning of the track? Maybe he says, it worked. And then they go into the whole thing.
God,
So cool.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, that opening scene when the family gets dusted, it was, even though you knew it was coming, it just knocked me off my ass, right?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking, and I love how it set the mood. You know that like we're getting now finally. Everybody's like, "Where's Hawkeye in Infinity War?" It's like, here he is.
Yeah.
Goes through tragedy, sets up his character as Ronin, and then you're off and running, and that mood is set. I loved it.
It's so good.
And do you think that's what the Hawkeye series is going to be? That 5 years between dusts?
That's a good idea, actually.
I mean, him kind of running around as Ronin.
That's a
I
great
don't-
idea.
I don't think so, because I think that the Black Widow movie is going to be that 5 years, and I think
is that confirmed?
No.
Oh, no,
we don't know. I think it is.
That's
I
what we
think.
talked about when we were coming out of the
And
movie,
I
right?
think that his series is going to be about him training his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shoot.
But this is all, I have
That's-
no
no,
reason
that's a
for
great
saying
call, Rox.
this.
I'll
is
tell
you what, I
think.
I was thinking
like
maybe
that.
season 2 for that training the
yeah,
daughter.
I like
His
that
daughter
idea.
becomes the next Hawkeye
Yeah.
at one point in the comics.
I like that idea, and I could see it happening, but I also think it's possible that if you wanted to do a Red Sparrow type version of a movie for Black Widow, to how she, before she really, Nick Fury and Clint saved her, and she was just, you want to go a little darker with what she was doing as a spy, you know, you could do that.
That's the
That'd be really cool,
speculation.
too.
Could like the red in her ledger
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
wanted to get rid of. Like I'm wondering if that's what they're going to show.
Right.
But
That could be really cool.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so many different. They've left the door open for so many options on all of their characters, even the ones that are now dead.
Well, Loki's going alternate universe. I mean, he's got it apparently because he gets the stone, takes off, and then that's what's going to happen inside of that. And that I thought the time travel stuff worked really well. Even reading my only question that I had at the end, and now it's been cleared up after reading about it and watching it again, is the question of, well, how did Cap go back? He goes back in time, puts back all the stones, and doesn't come back through the machine. He's just sitting there. How is he sitting there if he doesn't mess up? Because that's what they say. You know, it's different timelines. So how does he come back? And what was pointed out inside a lot of different articles and in the movie itself, as long as you go back and put those stones back to what he did, he put the stones back exactly where they were, then that timeline would continue as it did originally. And that's what he did, and that's why he was able to do what he did.
That makes perfect sense to
Yeah.
me. There were a couple things that, in general, I'm obsessed with this movie. I love
Yeah.
this movie. But there are a couple things I've been thinking about that I'm like,
Let's talk it through. What do you got?
Yeah.
why was Thanos so strong with no Infinity Stones? Why did we still have such a hard time beating him up with?
he's the Mad Titan.
But it shouldn't have. We're all trying to take him down. He's got none of the stones, and we still can't at all. I mean,
Well, they were. I mean, are you talking about when like Thor, Cap,
Yeah.
and Iron Man
Man.
take him on?
yeah.
He's just badass. I mean, look at the
that's
beginning
next
of
level.
Infinity War.
That's the point.
And I know he had a couple stones in the beginning of Infinity War. He kicked Hulk's ass.
Yeah, but he had 2 stones. He has no
He
stones.
didn't even use
He
them.
didn't use the stones against Hulk.
But
he fought him.
doesn't just having them
remember,
make you stronger?
No, not if you're using
Not
them.
if you're not
No,
using
because
them, okay.
remember when the creepy his boy who I love
let him have his
fun because he just wanted to mess Hulk up and he did and he's guy's a
Hulk's
brawler.
one person. I mean, I think that what they've said, this is totally the answer, and I get it, but it doesn't make total sense to me that we've got Thor, who should be able to do a little bit of damage, Cap, who should be able to do a little bit of damage, and Iron Man, who should be able to do a little bit of damage, all individually, all 3 of them taking him on, not a wince.
Well,
It's also younger Thanos too. I know it's only 4 years younger, but still younger because that was the thing that people were saying. If you look at the Infinity War Thanos is the 2018 version, right? And that's 4 years of him looking through for the stones. His philosophies have changed because when he goes in Infinity War, he just wants to level it out, bring balance, and he's at peace with it. Hence why he's sitting in a farm at the end, just kind of relaxed. The 2014, that's the same dude that was just looking for death and looking to destroy people. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to get the stones, but I'm looking to destroy. My mission, yeah, eventually I'll get to that mission and maybe I'll bring balance. But his mission was to destroy. And you saw it because he even said he was in that mindset of, oh, yeah, it's personal now. I'm just going to kill all of you. And that Thanos to me was way more dangerous. Doesn't really answer the question as far as the strength thing, but
It's
I think
not really a question. I get it, and what Reilly says is the answer. It's that he's still strong.
Yeah,
but
he's
I
just
don't know. In my interpretation of Thanos as a character, realistically, if he has no stones and there's all 3 of them coming at him, it's a fair fight.
Yeah.
And this was not.
And I'm going to see the fight again because
Yeah,
I've
me
only
too,
seen it
me
once
too.
because I think they got some cracks in.
Cap
and then
fucks him up. Cap hits him with that hammer and messes him up.
Right.
Do you feel like
Pretty
if they
bad.
had more time,
They probably would have taken him out.
all
Yeah.
right.
Because, I mean, I think the same thing is, I mean, not old Thanos, but beaten down Thanos was not even a contest. They cut off his hand. They cut off his head. They messed him up. I mean, Captain Marvel had him because Captain Marvel was beating him up too. And then he took out the Power Stone and cracked her in the jaw with it. He needed the stone
I
to
was
take her out.
so glad that she wasn't the one who ultimately was able to take him.
Yeah.
Because that would have been not.
It just wouldn't have worked yet.
Interesting.
She hasn't earned it yet.
No.
She hasn't earned it yet. She only had one
She
movie.
was super cocky.
Yeah, and
Which
it
is
was
fine.
I
but it
loved
was
her
good.
haircut.
Yeah,
I did.
it worked.
Doug.
But you know, you were telling me yesterday was
I didn't love it.
the Submariner.
Yeah, so
They teased it, right?
Yeah, they teased it. There's an article on Collider.com, but when Okoye is checking in with Black Widow and she says there was an earthquake off Wakanda, and they're like, "Oh, what are you going to do about it?" And she's like, "Well, it's an earthquake. We're not going to do anything. It's in the ocean." That's teasing Namor, Submariner.
How is it teasing it though?
Well, he's from Atlantis,
Yeah.
and he's the version of Aquaman, right? And I know he's tied to Wakanda in that way.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's probably some more sweaties out there that can then talk on this. But I read some article that seems to be it. And then if you look to the rights, Universal owns Hulk and Namor. Now, Marvel can't make standalone movies, but they have the deal where they could do team-ups. So I think they hinted that Black Panther 2 is going to have Namor in it.
Interesting.
And they've been asking for this character for a long
I
time.
remember.
Let me. My biggest gripe with the movie, and it's not when I fell asleep, is how does the entire first movie, Infinity War, is them trying to get the glove off his hand, right? How in that one quick movement does Iron Man rip the glove off and put it?
Because that thing that he built in Infinity War was built through the Peter Dinklage and a very different thing. That thing that he's got in his hand, that was built by Tony and his technology.
Yeah.
So Tony.
Now it can take the stones.
It can take the stones off. He designed it to where it would be fit for him. The same way, those nanotech that he's got. So that's why he was able to kind of put his hands through, and that's when he was designing it. It was able to fit for his.
No, but
for his
Thanos
form.
had another glove on his hand, right? He had the.
This was the glove that Hulk, right?
No, it was the nanotech one. It was.
So Thanos had the nanotech one on his hand. Okay,
Yes.
then that's what I missed. My bad on that.
Thanos
one.
had because it fit Hulk's hand and it became that big, and that's what they were carrying around. But then when Tony put his hand out, because of the nanotech, it fit his hand, his design.
Got it.
But we can jump right into that too. I mean, that's the one that I think about the most.
Same.
Like I've gotten emotional in that movie both times that I saw it, a few different times, and his death really gets me. Obviously, not because it's just because it's Tony Stark, but it's the performance of what Downey does in that whole entire movie. But the way that he plays it, when you just see him, the way that they did the makeup on him and everything too, the way that he looks decayed already. You're just like I don't think there's anyone in that theater that looks and goes, oh, he can survive this. You know he's gone.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I completely agree, and I think that the MCU's done a great job with casting. They've nailed it across the board, but Robert Downey Jr. acts circles around people.
Yeah.
That is nothing against that. I mean, Chris Evans is ridiculously talented. All of these people, they're Ruffalo's, but in this movie, you know from the start, you know he's a goner. I did, at least. When we're recording messages, every goodbye, every interaction, it has to be him. It can't be somebody else. And the fact that he's been talking to Doctor Strange this whole time, and Doctor Strange's like, there's this one thing. I kind of saw it coming, but his performance still is what got me shocked.
It was great. And the other thing is that everyone was guessing it's either Tony or Cap. It was either Tony or Cap or Tony and Cap. And the funny thing is, they did take out Tony and Cap. They did. Yeah. They just didn't kill Cap. But they took him out of the MCU for sure. I mean, unless they do like a series during that time. But the one I don't think anybody saw was Black Widow. Because in the movie, now, so I can't remember who asked me this. Someone, I think it was Snelling. We were going back and forth on text, and he had asked in regards to didn't both Black Widow and Hawkeye know that there's going to be a sacrifice if you go to that mountain?
Yeah.
But the answer to what I had said was not necessarily, because in that scene with Thanos, when Mantis goes up and all she says is he's in a lot of pain. It's like, what did you do? They don't know. Well, he didn't say, this Red Skull told me I needed to sacrifice her, so I threw her off a mountain. He never tells her that.
They know she's gone. They can figure Thanos killed her just for fun.
Right.
For craps
They
and
don't know
giggles.
why. They never told her why.
You would think a conversation would have taken place, but this is so quickly after.
Yeah.
I know that we've got the 5 year, but they've all haven't interacted. It's not like they've all been powwowing, being like, "Wait, what was the breakdown of that?"
How
Can
would
you
they
tell
know?
me?
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. But between the two of them, I knew that it was going to be her.
Yeah, because he's got to get back
At
to his
that
family.
point, he has to.
Yeah.
I just, unfortunately, I think that the main character the MCU did a bad job with was Black Widow, because I do not care about her.
Really?
Oh,
wow.
Oh, she died, and I did not care.
Wow, see, I felt the opposite. I thought they handled her really well.
I could not have cared less.
I think I might side with Roxy on this
Really?
one. Just because I've made so many jokes about what is Black Widow's job other than shooting a gun while these other super mega heroes are taking out people. And
she took over the whole team. She was.
Well, in that one scene where she's just like talking to people, I get it.
That's why I
know
wanna
that
see a
she's.
movie of that.
I know that she's the brains per se, and she's very good at, and she has some great fight scenes in the movie. Don't
Civil
get me wrong.
War. You don't think she was great in Civil War?
She was good in Civil War. That the fight scene in the
but just
the market.
she was the one maneuvering around with Nick Fury.
They needed to have her have a standalone movie. They needed to have me more invested. I mean, Hulk didn't have one, but he showed up in such a big. He had one, but our version, Ruffalo didn't have his own. But then he had Ragnarok, and he had such big arcs in other ones.
Let me counter that real quick. What if the Black Widow movie would have stunk?
I just needed more of her character.
Okay.
I needed, and I don't think it would have stunk. I love Black Widow in general. I love her. I love so many of her, the things that I know about her and of her comics. And in this series, she just was fine. I much preferred Scarlet Witch. Not that it has to be a comparison, but that's who I was really
But she
invested
didn't have
in.
a movie.
No.
Yeah.
She didn't.
She just you just thought they did a better job handling her character.
I did, and a lot of people disagree with that.
I'm on the. I'm definitely like on a fence with that comment because it's like I can totally see where you're coming from. And
I
can
did
totally
love that
see-
moment though. It's one of my favorite moments in the movie where when Scarlet Witch comes back and she's like, "You took everything from me," and Thanos goes, "I have no idea who you are."
Who you are.
So good.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
And, oh God, that was so strong.
It was great.
So strong.
Yeah,
Let me ask another like simpleton question, I guess, because I'm like superheroes for dummies sometimes.
They're called Avengers.
Avengers.
No, Avengers.
No,
Avengers.
With an E.
Got it.
According to the hashtag, though, that went
The
around.
Avengers.
Avengers.
How
Kobe
is like the
Smulders.
snapping of the finger? How are you able to like pick who you? Do you know what I mean?
Those were the one rules that rule was never really explained all the way through because what Thanos
so like
says
Thanos
in,
does, he's
what
kills
Thanos says
everything.
in Infinity War is like, I snap my fingers and I can do because his idea, what he wanted to do in that 2018 version was to wipe everybody out, half the population out to bring balance, and that's what he did. So their mission, what they want to do with a snap of the fingers, whether or not how you do it mentally, because Hulk said, I tried so hard to bring back Natasha, but I just couldn't do it.
That's one of the rules, but you have the imagination stone. So then, other than those
That's
few
right.
exceptions,
That's right.
you can
Think it.
imagine.
It's like your intentions, right?
Yeah.
You go,
Yeah.
I'm going to save the people that were dusted. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what they were able to do. And I think that's. But what I thought they set up really well was even when Hulk was like, "It's got to be me," because we'll get into Thor because Thor's such a mess. And when I first saw the movie, I didn't think that I liked it. Right, because I thought they were going to go for that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 humor. And I'm like, oh, that's all we're going to do this entire movie with Thor now. He's just going to become a punchline. But it served purpose.
Yeah.
There was a reason why, because he was so distraught. It's like one of the great athletes of all time who lost the big game and just couldn't get back, or lost a big fight and couldn't
That's why
get back.
it worked when he saw his mom. That
I agree.
was so
Yeah,
moving to
I
me.
agree.
And she knows. And for her to be able to be that strong in that moment, being like, it's going to be okay, whatever. Oh,
and
God.
eat a salad.
Yeah,
That was my
eat
favorite.
salad.
It was
Totally.
good. But
that
all,
was so strong.
But and the reason why it worked even more so the second time was during that scene when Hulk, when they're trying to figure out who's going to do it, and he's like, "I'm doing it." Thor steps in and goes, "I'm doing it," and Downey's like, "You can't, man." He's like, "You're just not up for it." It's like you can't do it. You can't handle it. And that's when Hulk sets it up nicely and goes, "I've got to be the one that does it. The Gamma will protect me.
Yeah.
If any one of you do it, you'll die."
Right.
And like that's where it sets it up, and it doesn't kind of foreshadow it right away. I mean, or it doesn't telegraph it.
Right.
How did everybody survive that building collapsing though?
The explosions in the building, especially Ant-Man.
I know, but I mean that's when you suspend disbelief.
Like Hawkeye, how'd you survive that?
Yeah.
Got lucky.
I mean, Hulk landed where it landed, and he was able to keep Hawkeye alive. I mean,
I'm all right with it.
Me too. I'm being nitpicky
Yeah.
because I'm analyzing something that I love so much.
When that building blew up, though, that was devastating.
That was devastating. And I thought Rocket was going. Did you hear his screams? Like, it affected me.
Yeah.
I was like, my God.
He couldn't breathe.
What were the moments you guys were the most affected by?
It's some of the humor. Actually, where Rocket was on fire this entire movie.
Yes.
This is again where my
He's
point.
the
And
best.
I hate to where it's always I feel like I'm piling on Guardians 2. It's just the fact that with Guardians 2, everybody has a joke, and it's like even though they're funny jokes, it's just it doesn't fit inside of the narrative of the story. This to me, when Rocket would tell a joke, it fit what was going on and fit his personality. Where he's sitting there, and Paul Rudd says something about space, like, "Oh, you want to go to space? The puppy want to go to space? I'll take you to space, puppy." Because it was like that to me is just like breaking balls, and just like he was great. Now, who here has been to space before? Great. Like that type of humor to me worked all the way through. So it was some of those moments that worked. And I thought Paul Rudd was really great, but the standout to me is Karen Gillan, who I'm not a fan of in these movies.
Really?
In these movies. In Oculus, I liked her very much. But in this movie, in all the other movies, her voice sometimes is just a little too over the top for me. But this, it worked. Her character was done well. Her performance was done well. I think that if of all the arcs, it was the one that got to me because of where she had been and ended up.
I'm a sisters person, so
You got it.
Oh my God, that worked for me so much.
Did it bother you how fast Gamora turned? Because it's 2014.
It's in her. But I do have a question about her, but I want to get your guys' moments too that stood out to you first before I ask about Gamora.
Go ahead, Mark.
I mean, I think Iron Man. The death of Iron Man really, truly affected me. I was in tears in it. And then I just watched Iron Man this week, and it was on TV. And right at that moment, he says, "I am Iron Man." To come full circle like that for the performance that Downey turned in.
And the little girl, though, sitting with Favreau.
The burgers.
He's like, "You like cheeseburgers?" Yeah. Like,
and that
like
callback,
cheeseburgers.
it was one of, I think it was such a beautiful moment, I am Iron Man, for him to do that. A perfect close to the MCU of this phase, these phases.
Downey kicked everyone's ass at the end at the premiere. He was with the little girl, and all the cast were saying things like goodbye and thank you to everyone, and they'd said like these long things. And Downey's like, "I'm not gonna say a big long thing," and he hugs the girl and he goes, "I'll just say we love you 3000." And it just everyone was like, "Oh,
yeah, brutal."
Wow.
For me, the Captain America moment, I think, is the most underrated moment of the movie. I know a lot of people.
Which one? Which part?
At the end.
Oh yeah.
When he's the old man. It was your Field of Dreams moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was, like, Dad, let's have a catch, because he finally got to go back and do what he's always wanted to do, which is just be with Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
And you knew as soon as he
Not her niece.
Not the niece, although Van Camp is quite attractive. When he accidentally is in Peggy Carter's office, and by the way, another Field of Dreams moment when he's with his dad, he's with Howard Stark.
Yeah.
That's when I started crying. I was like, I'm in that moment, and so great, right? And so when he accidentally goes in Peggy Carter's, that's when I said to myself, okay, so he's going to use, and he takes a bunch of the Pym particles, like he takes more than he probably should,
right.
and. That he's going to go back to be with Peggy Carter, and a timeline, all the things, that makes total sense to me. But when he is sitting on that bench, and that's old Captain America, it just got me. It just got me in all the right places, and I like that he gave the shield to.
I was just going to ask, how do we feel about
Bucky? I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, here's my...
it should have been Bucky, I agree, but I don't mind that it was Falcon.
I love Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
But that has not been the two of their relationship. And in the comics, they go both ways sometimes.
Falcon's done it, and Winter Soldier has too.
But it should have been Bucky. In the universe they created, who gets that? And I'm sure I'm going to get so much hate on the internet, but this is what they've shown us.
I'm surprised that they gave us the Falcon moment there, too, because considering, not only, even in this movie, the way that he's able to get his other self to stop fighting him as he goes, Bucky's alive. Because Bucky meant so much to him.
Bucky.
And they don't even have a moment at the end. They didn't even have like a
Bucky's just standing there looking.
Yeah. It was weird that they didn't have...
I agree. That was a little weird.
I was confused why, because I think because everyone called it happened with Bucky, plus the fact that Falcon doesn't have any powers.
He doesn't have the serum.
Well, I was wondering this, because this is what went through my mind, and this is geeky, but we still haven't resolved Bucky from Civil War. I mean, he was like a wanted man, and then Civil War happens to protect him because they...
I think people are probably a little more forgiving now.
Everyone died, but then
back.
it went, so I'm like, it's really so nitpicky, but that's where I went in my head and went, and then Falcon is in the comics. I think, I don't know.
What was your moment, Rox?
My moment that I actually cried during was when all of the women came out fighting together.
That was awesome.
But I felt like such a cliche because I made it for the whole movie, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to cry. And then they all came out, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, you think when Black Widow dies, they just killed off their main woman who's left of the female characters.
Girls.
And then they've just built up so many kick butt women.
Yeah.
And just watching them all, like, especially with Captain Marvel and all of the Black Panther women and
Tessa Thompson,
Valkyrie.
Tessa
Like
Thompson.
everybody
that horse,
coming
she's
out.
riding in on that horse.
man.
So
good.
rad.
It was just so freaking cool.
Yeah.
The Guardians, like all of the women in this universe where like you think about 20 years ago and it would have been like two girls trickling out. Like, you go, man, you can get it. Like, it was so cool.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that, because I know you're not a big fan, do you think that Doctor Strange had like a redemption song in this movie?
This was my favorite of his performances. This is the least I've hated the character
He's hardly in
so
it.
far.
Right.
That's probably why, right?
He's so great.
And
He's really
that
good.
one moment
And
where he
and
just,
this, but-
when he puts up the finger and Robert Downey Jr. knows
Yeah.
that this is
I
the
got
one.
chills.
That moment was unbelievable, and that for me was like, all right, he's okay in this.
Yeah. Oh, and and by the way, I love that whole scene with the Ancient One and Hulk, where she
So
knocks him
great.
out of his body and they have the conversation, but to where they're having this long conversation, he's just like, what the hell was Strange talking about then? Why did he give him the stone? And she's like, wait, what? What did he do?
Yeah.
And then she just gives it over, but she's like, he's the best of us.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he hasn't even been there yet. Like, she knows because she's got the time stone. You know? So it's like, that was all
That
put together
worked.
very well. And speaking of humor, one of my favorite moments, comedy-wise, was when the Hulk gets to New York and he's like, go smash things. He's like, ah,
Yeah.
ah. It's like, this is, what does he call it, redundant or something? Whatever he says, excessive. I can't remember whatever he says. Because that was another one, the first time I saw it, I didn't know if I liked, because I was waiting for Hulk, because the whole thing in Infinity War is Hulk won't come out.
Yeah.
Right? And I was waiting for that moment before I saw it, like, oh shit, he's going to come out, he's going to be aggressive, and he's going to mess Thanos up. And then they basically turned him into Beast from X-Men, right? And I didn't know if I liked that the first time I saw it, but the second time I saw it, I loved it because it's the catching it when you're talking about it at the diner, and that diner scene with the selfies with the kids,
So
all of
good.
that. Yeah, once I knew that, and once I knew the Thor stuff, I took that in and realized how well it worked for the kind of evolution of the character.
I wanted it to go there because it's one of my favorite Hulk things from the comics
Yeah.
is when he merges the two.
Yeah.
And when they just hit the ground running with it, I'm like, this is what I wanted. Yes, all right.
Do you guys think that we're going to be able to get Vision back?
I was
In the
surprised-
show.
I was surprised.
Well,
We're
I don't
getting
know.
the show,
yeah,
yeah.
but is that?
I have
we
no
don't know where
idea.
on the
I have
timeline.
no
She
idea
said
where
the
it came
50s.
from. She said it's in the 50s.
Yeah.
So
50s is weird.
It's bizarre. I thought we would be able to, in Endgame, get Vision back somehow.
I'm glad we didn't. Because I'm glad we didn't. Not because I don't like Vision. And
Like his Infinity Stone would have been able to bring all of Vision back. I don't know why.
yeah, but I'm glad because that whole thing, because then you could have bring back Gamora, and then you could bring back.
So a question about that.
Yeah.
We don't see Gamora, I don't believe, you've seen it twice, get
Yeah.
dusted when Iron Man snaps.
Right.
But all of Thanos' people that he brought back did get dusted.
Right.
Are we assuming she's dusted with them?
No.
So-
She was fighting with them. She
was
came
fighting.
back in time.
Right, but how do
with
you,
Nebula.
when you're snapping, how do you differentiate everybody who is fighting with, everybody who Thanos brought here,
Yeah.
Gamora being one of them?
I think that he knew. I think that because
So he could
again,
compartmentalize?
He remembers Star-Lord. How Star-Lord lost the first battle because of his love for Gamora, and he.
So you think that that Gamora, past Gamora, is now going to stay in the future
Yes,
with the
and
Guardians?
I think that's and that I think she took off. She took off, and that's why Star-Lord is looking at that where to find her.
Yes.
That's what Volume 3 is going to be about.
About
and I
finding
love
Gamora,
that.
yeah.
And is Thor going to be in Volume 3?
If he's not, it's a missed opportunity.
Okay. So
He's
you
gonna be in
think
it.
Thor's going to be there? Gamora, it's going to be this hunt for past Gamora.
It's
He's going to have trouble losing weight. I think that could be a funny.
I think he'll be. I think he'll be back to
back to
Thor.
normal.
Yeah, because I think that the thing is that this is a way to do another Thor sequel with Guardians, and that would get me very excited for Guardians because I love Ragnarok.
Oh yeah,
Ragnarok's
me
my
too.
favorite
I
out of all three Thors.
loved the fact that we got Mig and the other
Oh,
guy.
Meg
and Korg.
And Korg.
Korg. What a great moment that was.
Jump on the Wi-Fi.
Want to connect it to the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, you connect to the Wi-Fi.
Thanks, Thor.
So good.
Yeah,
Thank God I was missing those guys.
Don't really say that name around here.
Mig's back. Oh, hi, Mig.
How did
Oh,
you
he's
guys
not dead.
feel about the Hammer situation with Cap?
Are you
Amazing.
kidding me?
Yeah.
loved
That
it.
was the moment I haven't screamed that loud in a movie, and we were in the press screening.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this clarification question: are we to believe that anybody who is
Worthy.
or one person per planet is worthy?
No, I think it's anybody who's worthy.
And I think at that moment, and they set it up in Ultron, he almost
With the-
he
it
went
vibrates,
and he got
yeah.
it, and Thor went, and so when Thor says, "I knew it," that was a beautiful payback from Ultron of all things, and I think it needed to happen there, and the Hammer knew it. They needed some help. Cap's worthy, and he was able to wield it.
I feel like it's one person per planet. I feel like you're only of where you're from. One of you can be worthy.
They
and
both
Cap
used
is
it on Earth though. They like traded it off.
No.
He's saying
from
he's
where
saying,
you're from.
Yeah, she's saying
Like
basically
he's Asgardian.
Oh, I
right.
see what you mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So she's saying no other Earthling would be able to use
Right.
besides Cap.
That's what but I have no idea why I think that.
Right.
Because you would think more than one person then would be worthy on Earth.
Right. You never know.
Depends.
I mean,
Cap earned it though.
But that's what made Cap so special. is
Yeah.
the fact that he was in his story in general is that it doesn't matter about that serum. It was what made him so pure. Was that he was the ultimate soldier. He was the ultimate just human. You know, and I thought that they played him really well. Curious to how they're going to do this series with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier because their dynamic has been pretty good so far. I mean, I thought the Civil War stuff they did together was great.
Yeah.
But I thought that what Endgame I think has done successfully is made you very curious about these series
and the future.
Which one are you most invested in after Endgame?
Loki. Yeah, because I'm a sucker for the time stuff. I'm a sucker
You and
for
Macuga both.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for that stuff, like the alternate time, because I want to see now what happens. Where does he go? And is Thanos isn't around? right? Because so what happens to those Infinity Stones? Like what's going on? Like
Any thoughts?
No, I mean I don't know where they could go with it. I don't know where that Loki would go. I don't know what could happen. But that's a smart way to bring him back and not bring him back to life. Like let him die off. That was my biggest concern going into Endgame was that they were going to snap back everybody who died before the snap.
Gamora and Loki.
And they didn't. Yeah. And I thought that was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that I loved that caveat because that's always been my problem with friggin' Flash and all this kind of stuff is he just keeps going back for like personal things and then somebody always ruins it by bringing back I like that was our, like not wrapping up, but that we got that.
Yeah.
That he's like, no, only the people that were vanished, like only these people that... One of the things that I liked about the time travel was that it wasn't infinite. Do you know what I mean? Like we couldn't just be like, oh, we got to keep going back in time. Oh, we got to keep going back in time. They had
And then do it again, and then do it again.
and then do it again.
So
like
the
this
Flash.
was just, and then yes, correct. And then they broke the whole thing. They destroyed that thing,
Yeah.
and only Tony knew how to really do it.
Right.
And it was gone.
Yep.
That's totally fine with me. I really dug that whole thing. And if that's the way we're going to do the time travel in this movie,
You're okay with it?
Totally
Yeah.
fine with it. Because when we start getting into all these friggin' timelines, then it could start getting a little too just meh for me. The one thing that I really loved about the movie was that the time jumps were all for a purpose.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? And they all had their own little... I don't want to say like quirk, but their own like really memorable moments. So you had, like you talked about the Ancient One pushing Hulk out of the body, right? Then you had the Captain America versus Captain America fight,
Yeah.
which was
that
just
was great.
the coolest, right?
Hulk smashing Tony go up
Yes.
the stairs and everything.
Yes, awesome. The whole Black Widow Hawkeye thing was so well done that the time travel, and then like you said, then Howard Stark and Tony Stark getting to see each other, and Captain America getting to see Peggy Carter,
Star-Lord doing the dance and getting whacked out by
Yes.
by
That was funny.
Rhodey, and
it was.
Rhodey was really funny in this movie too, by the way.
Yeah, totally.
Back to the Future monologue that they have with the hot tub time
Fantastic.
machine thing.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
That
really
was
good.
really funny. I agree.
So, but I think for me, what the biggest question from all of this is, so 5 years have gone by, right? All the people that were dusted lose 5 years and then they come back.
Yep.
And what does it almost seemed like when they were in the school with Spider-Man, that the school looked pristine and perfect and they were back to just school as normal. I want to know, I want to see what that world is like.
I
And
think
that's-
you're going to. I think in
Yeah.
July.
Far From Home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're going to get that movie because that's the question. The people who didn't get dusted are 5 years older.
Right.
And where are they now? So all those people got to go back, plus the people who are already in school. I hope that they play with that and they don't ignore it because that would be a problem.
There's
So-
there's some chat going on the Collider Live thing.
Yeah.
They're saying that they saw Ben Mendelsohn in the school with Peter.
Really?
I did not see that.
I did not see it either. I don't know. So this is a rumor for now. I want to go see it with that intention to find that because that could be setting up Secret Wars with the Skrulls. Because if he comes back and he's hiding in plain sight, I don't know. That might be interesting.
Right.
I want to see it. You
But
didn't
they
see
saw
it, huh?
him in his scroll form?
No,
or
no,
they
no.
saw...
No, he was Ben Mendelsohn, but
I saw
human
it,
form.
I saw it twice. I didn't see him, but
I want to look.
Yeah, we'll look.
I don't know.
Is there like
I don't know.
screenshots somewhere that somebody has?
There's just a talk. I mean, it's the first I've seen of it or heard of it,
Wow.
so
There's
that could be
so-
interesting.
There's so many layers to this frickin' movie. Like, holy crap.
That's what. Yeah. So there's.
It's so commendable what they did. How
It's
did
incredible.
you do this?
Yeah.
They were saying the Russos did say that when Cap went and stayed back in the past, he created a branch of an alternate kind of line, and that's how he was able to stay. I gotta dig into this
Gotta
article
look
a
into
little
it. He's
deeper.
like, if he created a branch, how did it get back?
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. How did he get back?
I'm very
How
interested
did
to
Cap
see it
get
again.
back?
Yeah.
He didn't get back. He lived.
No, but that's the thing. If you go back, and that's the thing is if he lived, but he would have lived throughout that other timeline. That's what they set up in the beginning. That was the biggest question everybody had. So if they would have gone back and lived in New York during the time where they was talking to the Ancient One.
This is what they set up. When
Tony?
Hulk
Oh.
when Hulk is doing that snapping or the machine, right?
Yeah.
And you're coming back.
Time
and
lives in it, yeah.
whatever. You have the say of how long you're living before you come back.
Right. No, I'm not saying that, but you
so
still.
he lived the whole life, and
course.
then in the last
That's not what I'm saying though. What I mean is like, so when you can live as long as you do, and you'll live it out. But the thing is, so if he jumped back into New York, where let's say the Hulk is talking to Ancient One, right, and lived his whole life out there, he'd be living out in that timeline. It wouldn't go back into the timeline that we knew because it's a completely different timeline.
He lived that timeline, and then when he was old, that's when he decides when it's not a snap, it's a whatever, he's a flick or whatever.
So he did jump back into. See, that's
Let me give you a quote. Let me give you a quote from
That's
the
what I
Russos.
figured.
So it was at, does Cap go back to live in the past, or does he go live in another dimension? The directors say it's the latter. If Cap were to go back into the past and live there, he would create a branched reality, Joe explained. The question then becomes, how is he back in this reality to give the shield away? The brothers smile. Interesting question, right? Joe said. Maybe there's a story there. There's a lot of layers built in this movie. We spent 3 years thinking through it, so it's fun to talk about.
And guess what?
You're fine with that.
I trust them.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's it. Now I'm good. Like, okay, so but they've thought about it. There's another story there.
I wonder if it's Cap and Falcon and Bucky.
What if we get our own Captain America series down the line?
I don't know. I mean, Chris Evans seems to be done. Obviously, he was saying all these things right
now.
What I could see Marvel going forward, doing a lot. Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, introducing the Eternals, all these things, Black Widow, and then all of a sudden we've been digging all this stuff. All of a sudden, Captain America 4.
You could do another one because the thing is,
do you guys feel about them recasting him?
No. I don't want that right now. I love him too much.
If he's older and
too confusing.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
too confusing. You don't need to.
But it just sounds like he does not want anything to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, he's been pretty blown away by all the support that he's gotten afterwards too. But he's been, and I get it. Look, he's been playing the character now for what?
10 years, 9 years,
almost 9 years.
Yeah.
So,
because that did it go Iron Man and then Captain America was the first standalone after Iron Man?
No. We said this the other day. Actually, the first movie was Iron Man. The second
Incredible
one
Hulk.
Second one was Hulk.
Oh, right.
Then Iron Man 2.
Then Iron Man 2.
Thor.
That's what it
then
was.
First Avenger. Then Avengers.
Thor came before First Avengers?
Yeah, because at the end of Iron Man 2, they found the hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Have you guys gone back and rewatched?
Yeah, I have, but I guess in different orders.
So
I did Iron Man, Cap.
Okay.
This weekend, TBS, TNT, all the cable stations when I was flicking through, a lot of them were playing Marvel movies, right? So I caught Ant-Man, I caught the first Iron Man, I caught Civil War or Winter Soldier, and a couple of them, and it is so interesting to go back and watch those because they almost, I don't want to seem rudimentary, but they're just not on the spectacle level that we've seen from
They're more
Infinity
simple.
War. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's bad or good. I'm just saying it's a different movie to watch.
You got to build. You got to build to it. Yeah, it's kind of earning.
And Ant-Man still holds up for me. I just love that movie.
And
It is
the
great.
first Ant-Man was so good.
I love them both.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't love
I
the Wasp.
love Evangeline Lilly, a.k.a.
Oh,
Kobe
me
Smulders.
too.
I do too.
I just didn't love the villain and the plot in that movie.
It suffered from a lot of the same stuff Guardians 2 did. It's just they just started focusing too much on the give everybody a
Sometimes.
joke. And what's his name? The one guy, was it Michael? Who's the detective?
Michael Pena? Oh no. Hold on.
Bring up the
Sorry,
cast.
I wasn't paying attention.
All right,
Bobby Cannavale.
No. Ant-Man. I like him and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'll tell you. Bring up the cast if you please. And this guy that played the detective in it. He was so over the top. Randall Park.
Oh.
Who I like in a lot of different things,
Fresh
but
off the boat.
he's been in a few different
In New
things
Hollywood
sometimes where it's
Station.
just it's just so over the top. He just again very similar. We were just talking about with the uncle.
Yeah.
I never Ewan. It wasn't real. It wasn't a real character. It was a sitcom character.
You're on.
You're on.
Ewan Rayon. Yeah, I know.
I don't
It's
care.
so good.
It doesn't matter.
So good.
Anyway, so let's what we should do.
You're
Let's
a real
take a
piece of
couple.
work.
Let's take a couple calls from the fans,
Yeah.
and I want to see only obviously if you've seen the movie, and bring up some of the things you'd like to talk about. And before we even do that, Cody, anything that we didn't talk about that stood out to you that you wanted to talk about?
I guess my favorite moment was when Pepper tells Tony it's all going to be
Yeah.
okay. We're all going to be fine. That part really broke me because that's all he ever wanted was be able to protect everybody, and it worked out.
I want to protect the people, and that's what he says in the first one. Your girl was great in that
She
scene.
was.
She was really
She was
good.
I've never said anything about
Better acting.
Gwyneth Paltrow being a bad actress.
Yes, you did. You said she's never made a movie better that she's been in.
I think you did say that.
Yeah, I did. But, I mean,
It's not a
Yeah, that's true.
That's
You're
not a
right.
great
You know what?
movie.
You know what? I scale back. If there's nothing, if not, I'm a flip flopper. So yeah, no, I have such forget it. But I will say
It was a good move. It was a good moment.
It was a great moment.
Yeah.
But her as the other
Right.
Iron Man, I'm like, when did he train her?
Iron Man 3.
Oh, that's right. He did train her in Iron Man 3.
Yeah. But when she does that moment, because what I thought was really sweet about it was like a trifecta. Like he was so distraught about the kid, about losing the kid, Spider-Man. Because even when he comes back and he tells Cap, "I lost the kid," and Cap's like, "Dude, we lost everybody."
Yeah.
But then he looks at that picture, and like you never really see. A lot of times you would see Tony's heart throughout the series of these films, but it was always layered with a joke first. And in comes the kid, shows up, he starts talking to him, and there's no joke, there's nothing. He just hugs him.
Yeah.
And you went, and then even the kid goes, "This is nice." and then it's the kid, it's Tom Holland first who sees him, and he breaks down, and he's just done. And Pepper just very nicely kind of pushes him off to the side, has the conversation with Tony, lets him see that she's cool, everybody's cool. She stays really strong. Then he goes, and then she loses it.
Yeah.
That it was
So good.
very well directed, very well done.
Real question for you guys, not pulling my Roxy stuff. Possibly nominated for an Oscar?
You got a shot.
Who
You got
For
a-
Best Picture?
I think Downey's got a shot for Best Actor.
I think he should be
think so?
nominated
Yeah.
for Best
I would
Actor. I don't think he's got a
love
shot, but I think he should be.
I think he's
Of
got a
all
shot.
of them, I think it should be him.
I hope so.
I saw Enrico pushing for Cap, but I think it should be Robert Downey
Cap
Jr.
was good, and he did some good
This
stuff.
will
but
definitely get a Best Picture nom. I mean, if Black Panther got a Best Picture nom, this will get a Black.
It
I don't
should.
think it does.
No, Return of the King.
I'm wondering. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because of what they did,
It's the closeout.
because they
Maybe.
nominated
What they were able to
Lord of the
accomplish in
Rings.
this movie is
Yeah.
effing crazy.
And if you put that on there,
if you
the
put
box
that up
office,
against Roma, I'm like, give me
Well,
a
you just
friggin'
said
break.
it. Don't forget
What's
that
the deal with that?
they do.
It's just dog shit in the hallway.
Academy does award box office. They do it subtly, but they award box office. They did it with Titanic. They did it with Return of the King. They
Avatar.
Yeah, they award box office. This is going to be highly considered. Because what's the movie at right now, by the way, as far as box office goes? What did it do last night? So the weekend. That's just weekend, but yeah, just open it up. Let's see. It's made.
Boy, I was way up, huh?
357 so far. So it only. But that's not. It only made 7 million last night.
It appears Monday's not in yet.
Monday's not in yet. Okay, but it closed out at 357.
Jesus.
What are we at globally?
Globally, go back again, Cody. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was like 895, or no, I said like 985 was my prediction.
It's at 1.3. It's at
Holy
1.3. 1.3. Yeah. So Monday's
So
totals
this
aren't
is
in
going to
yet.
beat Avatar. You think?
I don't know. 2.7 is still a
Still
long way to
far,
go, man.
still far.
Yeah, because there's so many other movies coming out, and Disney's going to wind up being its own worst enemies because it's got Lion King, it's got Toy Story and Aladdin.
And Spidey, don't we have?
Spidey's June, July, yeah, but I mean it's still.
You know what's
Lion
going to
King's
be
also
its worst enemy that's going to take away from it is Cody's highlight of the year.
Pikachu.
Pikachu's not going to hit it that hard.
I know, but it'll still take
It'll
away
take
that
something out.
weekend
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to the screen
Thank you,
tomorrow?
Cody. Yes, I'm seeing Pikachu tomorrow.
Are you taking Cody?
I'm going.
They wouldn't give me a +1. So.
But you are going, Cody.
I'm going.
All right, hey,
Nice.
You're in Collider Live. Who do we got?
It's Billy from Milwaukee.
Hello, Billy. Billy, so you got some Avengers stuff for us?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I am a huge MCU fan. It's basically my Star Wars.
Nice.
So I love the movie. I've seen it 4 different times already. And I guess the moments that got to me were Captain America saying Avengers Assemble finally after all these movies, building up to it after Age of Ultron, giving you the little hint of it. But that moment got me emotional in like a happy way every single time I've seen it. And then just the Iron Man snapping the fingers after saying I am Iron Man was perfect. I can't believe I didn't see it coming. But Thanos kept on saying I am inevitable, and I was just like, when he answers back with I am Iron Man, it's just amazing.
Yeah, that's a cool,
So
really
good.
cool moment.
So I have chills thinking about it.
Was the theater you were in? Did everybody cheer when he said it?
Oh yeah, every single time.
That's awesome.
Every when Cap gets me in there, they go nuts.
How many times have you seen it?
4.
4, you said?
4
Okay.
times. Yeah. Going again tonight. Too,
Awesome.
so.
You mentioned the MCU. I gotta ask though too, because we didn't really talk about it on the show yet. Did you get a chance to see the MCU trivia match that we put up?
I did see it. Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I mean, I won't ruin who won, but how did you do there? Because the person who wound up winning was very impressive.
I was. Yeah, I would probably have been in the middle of the pack, but
Okay.
I was impressed by how good. Like some questions, I was like, boy, I didn't even know that
He was.
myself. But
Yeah, that person was really, really good. Who won?
In being in the crowd for that match too, every time he got one wrong, everybody was like, or right, you were just like, man, here we go. Like it was machine.
It was a performance.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, thank you so much for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Five times. This guy's a machine. I love it.
And I understand it though. There's sometimes people see movies like, oh, I just saw Dumbo 7 times in the theater. Like, what are you doing?
I got to take Amanda this week for sure.
Yeah, you got to. And it's so much better the second time.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I'm
crazy.
excited.
Because
Hopefully I
when
don't
you
fall
say-
asleep this time.
When you say that about Dumbo, I mean, I did not particularly like this most recent one, but people find their feel-good ones, so they go a lot. This movie, it's not just about being a feel-good movie. It's about I need to figure out all the different corners.
It heightens
of
the
this.
experience.
Yeah.
It does. It heightens
That's
the
why
experience.
I wanna go again.
I want to see it again. And it's a 3-hour movie. I've seen it twice. I want to see it again. And like for Infinity War, I saw it twice in the theater, and then I was cool. I think I've seen it like 5 or 6 times. The movie, and whether it's on Netflix now,
Yeah,
so I'll pop on the ending of it.
So,
and
do
watch
you
that.
think Infinity War or Endgame is better?
Endgame now? Initially, when I saw Infinity, when I saw it the first time, in my review, I said I liked Infinity War more. After that second time seeing it, piecing it together emotionally, it does more. I love it.
So is Endgame your number one?
Yeah, I would say Endgame's my number 1. Infinity War is my 2. Winter Soldier is 3, and then Civil War is 4. I don't know if what was.
We should maybe do all of our lists. I know Roxy put out her list
Yeah.
after Endgame, but it would be a cool thing to do this week, maybe tomorrow or Thursday or whatever.
Bring in the whole list.
Yeah, bring in a whole list and
Give
we
your
all
top
can-
10?
I think, or just
Or top 5? Just the list.
I'd say just put together your list.
Yeah.
Your top
Let's do it.
22. Yeah.
I have to see Endgame again though, because it was 5 on my list. It might be higher.
It'll jump after the second time because it was.
My list changes every single time I do a rewatch.
Yeah. What was your number 1 right now?
My number 1 is Infinity War.
It is Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll jump. Are we?
Yeah.
Did it again. All right,
It
we did
is.
it again. All right,
It's
listen,
nice.
that's the show, everybody. We hashtag that's the show. We did it. We made it through. Hopefully you enjoyed the spoiler discussion. And what do we got going on tomorrow, Reilly? Any guests coming in?
No guests tomorrow.
Just gonna bullshit.
Yeah, we're
All
just
right.
gonna bullshit.
See
We're gonna
what-
bring our list.
We're gonna bring our list. We'll see what's gonna go down.
List.
For Roxy Striar and Josh Macuga, Mark Reilly, Cody, Alex, the whole damn crew. We'll see you tomorrow.
I think my favorite part of the movie of Avengers Endgame was just